Hi everyone, this is Michael Condon representing the TooMedToo's Star Wars Network, and this is TooMedToo's Bacta Tank. Yeah, I got Delilah here with me. She's been hanging out with me all day. I did some other recording earlier, and we have with us our usual co-pilot, or one of the usual co-pilots, Rural Farm Boy.
Evening, Star Wars friends.
So let's see. I think it's been kind of a somewhat quiet Star Wars week. I mean, there's a little bit of stuff going on. We have. So last week we were talking about hoping that we were going to get a big show for Project Luminous, and we got a lot of information. There's still a lot to find out about it, but the leftovers from that, we pretty much covered everything that came out on the show last week. It was a little bit later than we expected it to be, well, than originally thought, but a few things that have come out, I believe, since then. We found out, without me pulling up the articles, there wasn't too much. The Wookiee was we got the name for the Wookiee that has the lightsaber. I forget what it was. It was it's like Burry or something like that. So we don't like Chewie and Burry. I mean, they're not going to be around the same time.
It's Burry, Aga Burry. And folks are going to want to call him Burry.
So yeah, that's going to be, we got Burry and Chewie. That kind of goes along with the good name for it. There's a couple other little things that came out, but nothing major detail wise. So I mean, it's not even. I mean, unless anybody else wants to get on here and talk about it, I don't really think it's worth the time right now. We had Bob Iger will be retiring. He changed his job title, and someone else is taking over. And if you're one of those scumbag YouTubers that makes their living and their money off of just talking shit about Star Wars or whatever you can, it was a big deal. But if you were any normal person, you would know that he's been talking about this for a long period of time, and that he is not stepping down. He's, just changing job titles for a little while. It's not because of anything that had to do with movies or content. He wasn't forced out. If he was forced out, he wouldn't still have a job. And the other Bob that's taken over, so we switched a Bob for a Bob, and he was the one who has been in charge of the parks recently. So
it's what some folks would call a lateral move.
Yeah.
Or just moving off to the side. Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, he's going to have as much power as he did before, just not in title for the time being. So that's really it's a story, but only lasts for a minute or two, unless you're one of the cretins out there.
I'm taking a look at the chat room, and we have a Mr. Craig Utley said he wants. When's the giveaway, Michael? Is what he's asking.
The giveaway, I still have a few names to come in through YouTube. It takes YouTube a couple days to update the lists. So right now, the names of people that I have are from 2 days ago. And we hit 750, I believe, Saturday. And there was a few people that were going to get in on it. So it's going to go who's ever into number 753. I won't have those names until tomorrow or Wednesday. So it'll be after that. It'll most likely be this Saturday or Sunday coming up.
Alrighty. Also going to give a how-do to Mr. Apprentice Ewok. I was in his live stream. He was gaming some Star Wars Lego, and I stepped in his live stream for a little bit and let him know that we was doing this here now, and he's in the chat room. And Charles West got conversations, and Charles is there.
Puppy. Crazy puppy.
Mr. Apprentice Ewok's there. And I'm hoping Miss Rachel Alford, who we seen about 30 minutes ago, was in Rebel Scum. Yeah, I let her know if she can step in for just a little bit. I hope she's gonna come pay a visit and sit here with us for a little bit.
And well, while we're here, I might as well let everyone know that this is episode 6 of the Bacta Tank Star Wars live chat, or whatever the hell I call it. And it is brought to you by the Patreons, who would be, the list is short so I can still remember it. Hopefully it gets long and I have to write it down or have it somewhere. We have Rural Farm Boy, Kylo Ren Flores, Mr. Rez, Chris from Kentucky, and Kylo Customs.
Nice.
And you can always catch us on Monday nights at 8:30, 8:35, 8:40, whenever. The scheduled time is 8:35, but every once in a while I go early. A lot of times I go a little bit later, or a few minutes later. Then there's also the Holocron House, where we go over. Right now, we're going over the Rise of Skywalker Visual Dictionary. There is Coruscant Coach's Corner with myself and Michael Pappas, and Collecting with Kylo. There's only been one episode of that, and that was with Kylo from Kylo Customs. But of course, that can be with anyone. If you are a collector and you want to come on here and show your collection, let me know. Or I'm probably going to be doing an episode of that and the next few weekends when I know I'm going to be having a couple long weekends coming up, just with, a Saturday and Sunday off instead of just a Sunday. So I'm going to get a little bit of, I still have my books to go through from the New York Comic Con, which I know I have a few books signed from authors. So I'm going to try and pull something up right here. I don't even know if I have it ready. So let's see. How do I do this? Well, I gotta
give it a go.
I'm looking for it. So Anthony, is there any news you want to talk about? We got some news from C2E2. The novelization for The Rise of Skywalker came out. And
yeah, it surely did, didn't it, Josh? And that turned into, kind of turned in a little bit of wrong way. I'm pretty sure it was meant to be in a good way. And some folks went and took a look at parts of it and was, now, I deal in spoilers, but I won't never go and tell anyone, none of our friends, or share with anybody else things I know in way of spoilers. But what happened this past weekend when Del Rey Books decided to go and share that with some of our friends, and that turned out a little bit of a wrong way, but I think I didn't go, I'm pretty sure I know what they were talking about, and I didn't go and pass it along, but feeling pretty badly for some of our friends that things were shared and folks were feeling a little bit let down because they wanted to go and discover that for themselves.
Yeah, it was, I mean, nothing too, well, once again, it's all relative, depends who you are. Something that you and I talked about with, that the Raylos are all shitting themselves over right now.
Only some of them. Some of them, not all.
The ones that give them the bad names and are attacking authors. Yes. And it's like, when you talk about a group, you don't talk about the medium people of the group. You talk about the extremes. So when I'm saying, you know, the Raylos are doing this, I don't mean the normal Raylos. I mean the ones that are attacking Ray Carson because she wrote a book and they don't like the way it turned out, or are making members of the story group delete their Twitter accounts. Not making them, but they choose to because they're like, fuck you guys. I'm not with it. For, you know, you guys are stupid. You're insane. Why are you even acting like this? You should probably, you know, maybe lay off of Star Wars a little bit and spend some money on counseling if this is how you act over a fucking movie. I understand some people it resonates with more and it helped them get through hard times and bad times. But dude, we know Christina loves Kylo Ren and wants more Kylo Ren stories and things like that. But she's a normal person. She's not writing death threats to, you know, members that of the story group that she doesn't like and talking and nonstop, you know, Twitter bombing them and, you know, everything else that the, you know, the fandom menace used to do. Now the Raylos are doing it, but they're even worse. And once again, I don't mean all of them. Well, the fandom menace, yeah, you all suck. Well, I've met 2 or 3 that are good out of the thousands, but the Raylos, it's the other way around. It's out of the thousands, there's a couple that are bad. You know, it's like the fandom menace. There's thousands and a couple are good, because they don't understand what it's really about, the whole fandom menace thing. And you have the Raylos that the majority of them are good, but there's a couple that are just off on the fringe that, you know, who knows what the hell goes through their brain. But I just lost all my viewers when I started talking about them. But I don't know who is Raylo in here. But anyways, or it could have been Fandom Menace. Anyways, all are welcome as long as you can be respectful. That's the only thing about this place. And
exactly, just that. Just
you know, if you can, I mean, there's I've been hanging out on Darth Longo's live chats, and he has people in there that are Fandom Menace, and I've been on his live streams, and I've been on his live streams with people that are Fandom Menace. But if you can have a normal conversation about it, that's fine. But if you're one of these idiots that are sitting there making money off of it, like Geeks and Gamers and Jeremy, you know, who go to Celebration and is walking around and the biggest kid in the candy store wanting to be friends with everybody, but then you get on TV or on YouTube and you got to sit there and scream and yell about everything because that's how you make your money. Well, you're a piece of shit because you're selling out just to, you know, these people that are watching you don't know that you're acting, and it's not true. You know, there's something wrong with them and they're falling on your every word. And, you know, I've had conversations with those people, and, you know, the majority of them are okay and normal. You know, they just didn't like the movie and fell onto a hashtag without really knowing what it meant. But I don't even know what I started talking about. Anyway, so yeah.
I'm looking at the live chat. I'm looking at the live chat, and I see Kylo Ren Flores. That's Miss Christina.
That is.
Okay. Hey, Nick Adams is here. How do, buddy?
Nick Adams is here. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this. I haven't set it up yet because I don't have a thumbnail for it, which I'm sure I could do while we're talking. But I am just going to play it and try and get some reaction from the people in the chat on what they think about this before I make it go public. Or before I go public. And, you know, I still have to do when I get off of talking with you guys, I'm going to have to do the thumbnail for it, but I'm going to post that and get that out there. And this is for the my Road to 1,000 sneak peek. So we're going to try this.
Here we go.
And Chrome tab. This guy over here. Share. All right. Do we have the picture? I'm trying to see what we got on there. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna get rid of us totally, Anthony. And let's see. Make sure I have sound on. Yes. And all right. This is what we got. I edited it once. I mean, I went through it and I edited it. I haven't watched it yet, so hopefully there's no mistakes that I got to fix in it. But I'm probably just going to put it up as it is to get started, and if I got to fix it, fix it.
Yeah, there's no sound, Michael.
Are you not getting it? Did you say?
I'm seeing from the chat room some folks are saying there's no sound. And also no sound on my end.
Well, let's see. Do you have sound now?
Not yet. And the graphics are kind of skipping a little bit. They got a lot. Yeah, Charlie Skywalker saying he can't hear. Mr. Rez is saying he can't hear. Dale Erdman. Howdy, buddy.
All right, so I just paused it for a second. So you guys can hear me talking now, but you can't hear. You guys can hear me talking now, but you can't hear the video.
The video. Miss Christina says it's very faint. Yeah, Mr. Russ says correct. Charlie Skywalker says correct. Dale Erdman says correct. They're seeing pictures, but they're not hearing sound. And neither am I.
All right. Well, I don't know how to fix that.
Ain't technology just grand?
All right. Well, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit, and I'm just gonna play it. And I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you the gist about what I'm saying, since you can't really hear the video, unless. Yeah, I don't know how to change it on here to change that video sound. But all right. So, anyways, this is gonna be kind of Oh, we won't get to that yet. That's something special. This right here.
The sound's picking up now.
Mystery box from Triple Force Friday. It came out, still sealed. We all know what's in there, though.
The sound much better. There we go.
Figure. You have the pin, the hat, and the comic book. Skywalker Saga by Delilah Dawson. And I know it seems like I have a truckload of these. Maybe they did fall off a truck. I'm not sure. But we have Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and the TIE Whisperer. So if you are somewhere around 750 plus to 1,000, depending on where the exact cutoffs lie, once I get those numbers from YouTube, you will be entered to win one of these three prizes. Because I need to be to 1,000 subscribers to live stream from Celebration Anaheim. But if I hit 1,000 subscribers before May 1st, this guy right here, the 10-inch Kylo Ren Supreme Leader, will be going to any one of my 1,000 subscribers. That means if you've already subscribed, shh, Delilah, I'm telling the good news. That means if you've already subscribed, you are eligible to win that. So tell your friends to sign up, and if you're one of the 3 people getting in on the last quarter of the subscribers list, tell your friends to get on there too, because you got to be in it to win it. The more the merrier. The sooner I hit it, the better the odds of you actually winning that, because it will be in play. Once again, I need 1,000 subscribers to live stream from Celebration Anaheim. And when I do hit that 1,000 mark, one of my last quarter subscribers will get in on those 3 amazing products. And if I hit it before May 1st, we will be getting one of the winners to get this, not the dog, the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren 10-inch. Who doesn't want 10 inches from Kylo Ren? With that, that's a good day. May the Force be. Well, all right. So,
yep, your point come across. We got it, including the chat. Your point come across.
So that's what we got. That's our new. That's going to be the new contest going out. So, yeah, that way hopefully it gets. I've been averaging it about because I have my my highs and my lows, and I have a couple of days where I don't get anybody, or when I was on vacation. But I've been averaging about 120 people a month. I've been gaining since I've been doing the push and doing the contests and trying to get people in it. So I need 240 by March 1st, which is right along, is a little bit high for those lines, but I need a couple good days, a couple people to pull their friends in, and it should be able to do it. Then I have, once I get that, then I can go ahead and buy my camera, or wait for a deal and see if I can get it on sale somewhere. And then I have a few months to work on it and figure out the best way to do it, and get, you can get clips. If I get for the GoPro, you can get clips and put it on your backpack, so you can walk around with that and see where do I need it on there, to be at the right level and when I'm talking. And can I hide it on a backpack so I can actually live stream from when I'm in places that they don't allow recording, like a panel or something like that. And of course, that wouldn't go out to everyone. That would just go out to patrons. Just because, something like that, you have to have something special for the patrons. So if I was able to live stream a panel, if they allowed me to, I wouldn't do anything nefarious that would get me kicked out or anything. And
yeah, don't want that to happen. Yeah, I'm just taking a look. You're sitting at 753. Yeah. Spread the word and pass it around. Let's pick it up. Let's pick up Michael and get him to 1,000 before, maybe you want to say July. That way you got time to get set up.
Well, for to put that Kylo Ren into play, it has to be before May 1st. So I'm averaging I'm averaging a little over 100 a month. About 100. I'm like 100 depending on the month. It's anywhere between 100 to 120. So if I can do 120 this month and 120 next month, that will give me my 240 by May 1st, and I need 247. So to get in there to get that 1,000, because it also takes a month sometimes for them to get everything to go through and validate you that you have the people and everything. So, that will then give me enough time to, and that way, if I don't get it, if I don't hit it May 1st and don't get it till June 1st, that still gives me a month to, if it takes a month for them to get it for me. So that's July, that's June, and then I have July and August to get it and get the camera, get everything working for it. So, before I didn't think that, I thought it was going to be an impossible task. Now I'm pretty confident I'm going to do it. I just want to get it done sooner than later. That's why I'm putting in that bonus to get it. Oh, and Dale's leaving. Dale, thank you very much for stopping by.
He's off to work. May the force be with you, friend. Well, Miss Christina in the chat. Where was she asking? about the camera you want to pick up. She's asking how much is the camera?
The camera's $400. If I go with the GoPro. If I go with the GoPro, the camera's $400, but to get everything else I need with it, like the extra batteries and the portable battery chargers and everything, it's going to be about $800. That might be best for me because I can just, they have a clip-on for your backpack. I can clip it on and walk around with that. And then if I do need to get, do interviews or talk to people, things like that, I can take it off and use one of the selfie sticks, or they're better than selfie sticks. If I go with some of the other cameras that I need, it's about the same price, $700 or $800. But then I also need a stand for it and a tripod, so it's it's going to cost me probably about $700 or $800 for the camera and the equipment to go along with it. So we need some more patrons on there. It's
Charlie Skywalker was saying a little bit early, about how he's aiming to have a spot in your Patreon, and I told him I'd save him a spot.
Yep, there's a spot for everybody. Some people are more welcome than others, though. And all it takes is a dollar to become a Patreon, and I have some ideas. I don't have Patreon level set up for things, but I only have a few patrons right now. And that's I have a few ideas for a few of the patrons or Patreons, of some ideas that might be going out for some gifts. So double check on there. I think there's a spot on there on the list to put your address if you're a patron. So just double check that you have your address on there. In case I feel like, are you drinking blue moonshine?
What, this right here?
Yeah, blueberry moonshine.
No, Spotchka.
Oh,
Mandalorian.
okay.
Spotchka, buddy, Spotchka.
All right.
You want that recipe? Yeah, hit me up with a DM. I'd be glad to share it. And it's not too tough. Not something going to knock you on your ass. Just something to make you feel a little bit warm inside.
And then I got my bookcase put together for the most part. And
yeah, I seen that. Looks good.
I have the other bookcase that I was going to put together with Blacksters and Funkos, but I didn't want to do the Funkos while my girlfriend was home. Even though she knows about the hiding spot, she just hasn't looked there because she hasn't said anything to me about it. but it's full of Black Series and Funkos. So I was gonna do that today, but I kind of had a lazy day. I wasn't feeling that great, so I just hung out with the puppy, took a nap, did a little bit of YouTube stuff. I'm behind on my posting for my daily calendar. I got a couple days. I'm about a week behind. I just got to get that done. But that's something I can do. I'm watching TV or whatever. So that's really not that big of a deal. And so we'll see. And then let's see. Is there anything any other news we got going on? Bobby I retired. Kind of. We got the spoilers coming out from the book that I don't want to really talk about until I get the book, which is going to be the 17th.
Yeah, you, me, and Mr. Rez are going to be picking that up by way of Audible because we're listeners. So we're going to be listening to that story. Other new news. No. And I had 18 shows in my playlist from my workday, and all of them were talking about the latest news. Thank you, Charles, and thank you, Mr. Rez. They like my place. As they're seeing. Checking out my Stormtrooper helmet back there. Other new news. I ain't really worried about what Mr. Iger's doing or his replacement. No, we got other things to talk about. That's for them to go and do. Other new news. Been finding some new Star Wars podcasts for your playlist, and I've been sharing. If folks you got a spot for another couple shows in your playlist, Michael?
I mean, I always got room for spots when I'm going to listen to them, and I don't know. It just depends on. Yesterday, I think, or this morning, I posted, I think, like 10 things. 3 of them were Patreons that I'm a member of that I listen to, and the other ones were a couple live chats I was a part of or watched, and a couple of videos. But it's like, on my days off, I usually don't leave my neighborhood, my couple block radius, because there's nothing, for me to do. The biggest thing I'm going to do on my day off is, unless I have plans to meet someone out or whatever, I might, walk to a half a mile of a GameStop, even though I don't collect Funko Pops. That might have something there that, I need to get. But other than that, I have, I got a store at the, like today, my girlfriend left for work, and I went to the bodega, and I picked up some chicken fingers and French fries and chicken wings for lunch, and I got some lamb halal for dinner, and put that in the fridge. So I mean, I took the dog out a couple times. Other than that, I took a shower. So I only listened to one podcast today, and I started. I'm almost finished with Scruffy, because there's a couple podcasts that when they come on, I try and get them right away, or I know when they're going to come on. Rogue One comes on Thursday at 12 o'clock or midnight. I know you're not going to listen to it then, but I'm usually coming home from work or getting home and walking the dog and doing whatever. So I'm usually putting that on. Cano Bite is Thursday night, Friday morning. Blue Harvest is Friday to Saturday. Sith List is Saturday night going into Sunday. So like those I catch usually right when it hits midnight, right when it comes out, unless they come out a little bit early or a little bit later. But it's still, I mean, just the way that if I get out of work at 10:30 or 11 or 12, I'm either catching them when I'm finishing up work or on my way home or coming home and getting, stuff ready, getting the dog ready. But other than that, I listen to them, when I'm on my way to work. That's a half hour, an hour each way, even though it's only 12 minutes out. Even though it's, once the doors close on the subway, it's 12 minutes, but I still got to get to the subway and get ready and walk the dog, so there's another hour each way. So, I've said it a lot of times. It's I probably have about on a work day about 4 hours of listening I can do. Well, at double speed, that's 8 hours of podcasts to get in. On my day off, I'm watching TV or doing this. I've been watching Narcos, Mexico season 2. It's all about the if you don't know what Narcos is, it's all about the drug trade. The first well, not season, but the first series was about Colombia and the cocaine drug trade and Pablo Escobar. And then that one finished, and then they're doing Narcos Mexico, which takes place around the same time, but it's what happened in Mexico at the same time. So you still have a lot of the same players, just a different version of what happened. Or instead of dealing with mostly Pablo Escobar and the cocaine manufacturing in Colombia, now it's dealing with the Mexican cartels, or how they became cartels, and that. So I binged a couple of episodes of that today, and there's a lot of stuff I want to. It's hard because before I used to watch a lot of TV, and I'd come home and I'd watch TV. Now I'm doing live chats, and whether I'm making them or getting involved or just in the chat room with them, it's something I find more enjoyable, because I've now realized that a lot of the television I was watching just to watch it. I didn't, it filled not like a void in my life, but it was just something to do. And in my spare time or my downtime, I don't necessarily like it. There's a lot of stuff that I like, but I'm not really missing it. There's only a few shows that I actually try and make time to watch, or instead of watching 3 or 4 hours of TV every day and all different shows, I'm now finding myself binging 4 or 5 episodes of something in one day. Not shows that are necessarily, that you normally binge, like Netflix or something like that, but things that NCIS, which I think is a great show, which I think it's probably coming up to the end soon. I'll watch 3. I'll be like, oh, I haven't watched that in a while. Excuse me. And I'll watch 3 or 4 episodes of that. Oh no, I burped, so that's why I was. I'll watch 3 or 4 episodes of that, or the Goldbergs. I'll watch a couple episodes of that, and then depending on what I'm doing and my level I need to pay attention and absorb depends on what I'm going to watch too. So, if I'm doing a rewatch of the Clone Wars, I can put that on while I'm cleaning the house, or my girlfriend was watching her TV shows while I was doing my bookcase the other day. And has everybody seen my bookcase? Here, I'll show my bookcase real quick.
I have.
Here we go. Let's see if
Yes.
it's a little bit. See, there it is. There's. I mean, it's kind of far away, but there's the bookcase. It's all.
Oh yeah, I seen it when it was when you shared photographs of it being empty. I've seen that. Yeah, you was a hard-working boy.
I showed a couple of being full. So you got some Funkos on the top and some Funkos on the bottom. My dog's on the top shelf too. My Nubbers dog that just passed away a couple months ago. And then I have, here, this shelf right here, I guess it doesn't really show up, but this is all of my reference books, the encyclopedias and visual guides and things like that. And then the next shelf up is art books. And then the next shelf up is just kind of miscellaneous, the scripts and 5-minute stories and everything you need to know about Star Wars, character encyclopedias, things like that. That bottom shelf right there, I don't know if you can tell, is physics of Star Wars and Joseph Campbell. And I mean, you can't see all the way over, but so that's pretty much, where I'm at right now. And, I'm always adding to it. There's always a little bit more going on. Like today, I don't have any toys to add to it. I heard a rumor that there's some toys coming my way. I'm not sure when or how many or whatever's going to happen with that, but I heard a rumor of that. But we got some books coming today, I think. And yeah, that's what we got for sharing. And maybe I think we should probably do the last of the Smuggler's Bounty Box today. But yeah, and I gotta find if there's anybody out there. This will go to my patrons first. If there's anybody that wants an IG-11 droid, let me know. I lost that battle with the credit card, or that battle with the credit card company, or my bank, and
oh, the Black Series IG-11.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go and let me go and unplug here for a second because I got something I want to show.
Okay. Yeah. I lost that battle with the. Oh, where's? All right, I had to mute Anthony because he was. Oh no, he's coming back now. Oh, he's already got one. All right, now I'll unmute him. I gotta wait for him to position.
IG-11.
I muted you. All right.
Looks like that.
Yeah, I don't know where the box is. I got him somewhere around here, but
no, mine's out of the box because toys are meant to be played with, in my opinion. Yeah, I love this fella. He's the best.
Yep. So
he looks like him right here with his DLT 19. Yeah, love this little fella.
So
it's a lot of fun.
So I have a couple. They're in the box, but the box is crushed. So if you want it for the box, it's not necessarily going to be what you want. But if you just want it, that goes out to my patrons. First, if you want it, I'll have your address, so let me know. Make sure I have your address. I already said it today once, but make sure I have the address, and I can send that out to you. And if not, go to any of my regular friends that are in here that support me, that maybe aren't patrons, but you know what I'm saying. So whatever. I'm just talking to talk right now because that's what we do when we're hanging out with friends. But oh no, I agree with you. If I could, like, I don't have them in the box because I think they're going to be worth money. I started collecting the Black Series, and you guys have all heard the story. I was hanging out with the collectors and decided I was going to collect, and went home and, probably made some bad decisions on YouTube or on eBay buying things because they were good deals on eBay prices, but they weren't necessarily a good deal in real world. So, eBay set the price. If I set the price at $100 and you want to undercut me and put it for 80, well, it still might only be worth 50. So me thinking I'm getting a good deal at 80, I was getting ripped off. But that's neither here nor there. It's all in the past. So yeah, and I might decide to downsize some of my figures and go after more of what I really want more. Because, like, for example, the Rise of Skywalker, I got every single one of the Rise of Skywalker Funko Pops because they were coming out. I said, all right, give me all of them. I just got the case, or every single one. And there's a couple of them that I don't really want or don't really like, and I just got them to get them because I'd rather have it to get rid of it than to not have it and try and find it. Then
you also collect Black Series too, correct, Michael?
Well, I don't collect Funkos.
No,
I just have some Funkos.
You also collect Black Series figures too, correct?
I do, and for a while I was going to start trying to be completist on it, and I decided that, it's Black Series isn't that hard to be a completist on. Some of the older ones are a little bit more expensive, but
did you find the Black Series Mandalorian?
I have the Black Series. I have the Black Series Mandalorian, and I have the Black Series Carbonized Mandalorian. All of them that are carbonized, I have. The line that came out for Triple Force Friday, I have all the carbonized ones. And then I have a lot of them that aren't carbonized. But I didn't get
carbonized or otherwise, I cannot find. I feel like Kyle from Tumbling Saber. he's on the lookout for the Mandalorian, whether it's carbonized or the straight black box. I can't find a Mandalorian to save my life. I'd like to have him, but I can't find him. He's not here in Western Pennsylvania. Love to have him, just don't know where. Oh no, we lost Michael.
I always fucking do that. I went to go click on something.
There you are. You're there.
I went to go click on something, but I didn't get rid of the screen. Or I didn't open up a new. But it's like, so, like I always talk about the book. So The Empire Strikes Back, the script, the special edition. I think I have the book that has all three of them together, but I can get Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi for $2 each. They're used. But then for A New Hope, it's $10. So I can go and buy those two and just wait for the New Hope one, and it will eventually one will come in on Amazon, one of the list. The only reason I'm saying that is because I want to check out over here. Why do I gotta put my password in here? Son of a bitch! You should remember that shit. Oh, that's the wrong password. I don't know my password. I don't have time for this. No, I'm pretty sure that the Mandalorian, just the regular one, you can find on Amazon right now.
Oh, there's folks in the chat that says they're finding them in their spots, and they're willing to pick up and send. So
yeah, the Mandalorian.
You're willing to do that? Yeah, hit me up in the DMs. I'll send you back cash. In trade for Mr. Rez finds them, and Miss Christina finds them. Yeah, we're doing like Hall Chronicles boys do. Yeah, this is what we do. This is the way. Pick each other up. Yeah, you hit me up, and
yeah, Anthony,
I'll send you that $20.
Anthony, are you in any of the Discord groups or the Discords?
I got them bookmarked, but only a couple of them.
Because
I spend most of my time in Twitterverse.
Okay, because Kylo started a Discord for collectors. It's myself, him, Nick, Christina's in there, and a handful of other people, and it's just, hey, I found this. Does anybody want this? Or there's a wish list page. So if there's something you're specifically looking for right now and you can't find, you put it on the wish list page. And if somebody sees it, they can grab it. Like right now, I'm looking for the thing I'm trying to get right now are the exclusive Funkos. The Amazon one is out of stock and it's not coming out for another month or two. The Target one is sold out. That's the one with the Mandalorian with the fireball. I forget what the other two are. And then there is what was the GameStop Jedi Revan and the Battle Droid. And those are coming out in regular boxes, but those boxes are like they're not carbonized, but they're purple. It have like a purplish tint to it. So I've been trying to pick those up. So if anybody sees them, and I've been to a lot of the GameStops around, and I just missed out on those. So that's one of the things I'm looking for. And we got some people in the chat. Scarif Scuttlebutt Podcast is here. I'm going to assume that is our buddy Ro.
That's what I was asking. I think that's him.
So I don't think the probe droids are out yet.
Yeah, it's Ro. It's him.
So I don't think the probe droids are out yet because one of the guys from GameStop messaged me and said, "Hey, after the toy fair, hey, we have all these that are available. Do you want us to order them for you?" And it's great because you go to GameStop and you put a $5 deposit down, and when they're ready, they come in. So it's, $15 when they come in. So, I mean, it's still
no. Folks are finding Folks are finding them probe droids in the wild. They're to be found. They're really real. They're to be found.
I did not know that they were out yet.
No, Rose just saying they're $39.99. Measure in Michigan.
Amazon, I don't know if now this is a thing too. The hunt is fun, trying to go around and find them, but it's also like, for me, it's difficult in New York City. Yeah, I got a bunch of places, and there's a bunch of GameStops, but GameStop, they don't have them in the wild. If you don't order it, your chances are you're not going to find it there unless they just had one come in. Amazon has the probe droid right now, $29.97. You can pre-order it. It's coming in April 27th.
Oh, Miss Christina says she's finding them for $35. Wow.
Yeah,
most folks are saying 40.
I mean, well, wow. It's $30 on Amazon right now, $29.97, but you won't get it for another month and a half.
And there's shipping and handling included in that, which ups it.
Free shipping with Amazon.
Okay.
If it's an actual Amazon product or Amazon selling it, there's no shipping involved with it. But if it's a third-party one, that's where you can find pretty much anything on Amazon. But for example, like I was just talking about, I didn't really care about the white boxes for the ones that came out for Triple Force Friday. So the white boxes you can find it right now. It's $45 for a Cal Custis. But that's sold through a different, it's sold through Amazon, but it's not an Amazon product. They're getting it through someone else. What did I just find here? Star Wars Power of the Force 21B medical droid with medical diagnostic computer. What?
That's you, buddy. That's you. What's this now?
It's just it's Power of the Force, so it's an old one. But I'm gonna throw that in my cart for later, because I do have. Where's my bag of stuff? I'm gonna probably do a separate. These are all books I got at New York Comic Con, but they're signed or things like that. Special books that it was in October. I haven't gone through it yet, but there's just all stuff in my. Oh, see, I knew I had one of those. All right. Well, I know this is riveting watching me look through bags, but this is going to go back in the bag for when I do my I picked up this guy.
The original 21B.
Yep. And I had him as a kid, and I think I chewed his leg off, his arm off, or something like that to make it look like it got destroyed. Well, that's the thing. You can pop limbs off and stuff like that, and bend them and break them. But if you want to make it look like it got crushed, you got to chew those things. So there's a lot of crushing injuries in Star Wars. Well, not really, but in my backyard, Star Wars, there was. So let's see. Oh, and. Okay, somebody has them now. Yeah, I don't know when.
Tyler Customs had them once. He's got them right now. Yeah, I had them once too.
No, not the 21B. Yeah, Kylo showed me that he had one. I meant the The droid.
Which droid?
The probe droid.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Anthony's got the coronavirus.
No. Apologies. Went down the wrong way.
You got little tiny shrimps crawling down into your stomach.
No. You mean krill?
From your
What
spatchka.
Yeah, it's what spatchka is made from. Krill. No. Time it a little bit. Went down the wrong way.
Okay. So here, this is what
me laugh.
this is what GameStop has for their pre-order. It says according to GameStop isn't getting theirs till April 27th, and I'm not sure when the rest of the 40th anniversary ones come out. This Ninja Turtle line is pretty cool too, but I can't get into toy collecting.
Apologies. Oh, Viper Probe Droid.
Okay, let's see. Oh, here's one of the other ones that came out.
Oh, the Snow Speeder. Here we go.
Let's see that.
That there's the one that includes Dak Raltier as the gunner.
But that's a big motherfucker right there, dude. I don't know if it gives it the size of it, but I mean that's a six. That's a scale. It's to scale. So, but that's a 6-inch guy right there.
Yeah.
So
Dak.
So it's probably I'm gonna guess it's like 2 feet by 2 feet. Just guessing from, it's 4 of them long and 4 of them wide. So you need a little space. You need a little space to put that, or hang that up. But that goes along with the X-wing, not the X-wing, the TIE fighter that they had a little while ago. But here's the other thing too, like all the big things, the TIE fighter that came out a few years ago, and what's the one that came out with Solo? Ephes Ness and her bike. You can find them really, really cheap. Way after, a few months after, or 6 months after, if you want to wait. So this one, I'm sure you can find it for $75, and it comes out at Christmas time. It's going to be $75. If you're just going along with the trend of what happens with them.
Take a quick second to say howdy to James from Rebel Scum. He just jumped in the chat to say hi, and I think he's skipping out now. But say howdy to James.
Hi, James.
For a hot minute.
We're just sitting here looking at toys right now, or.
Yeah, I hear you, Ro. I'm going to need some more overtime for all the things I want to get, but ain't got money for it. But I feel you, buddy. No, Mr. Raz, it's not Andrew. It's James. Andrew Fantasia is coming up next week.
So let me hop back in the chat real quick and see. All right, hi Andrew. Hi Andrew, how you doing? Oh, it's James. Oh, Andrew hates Star Wars. We can't forget about that.
No, Andrew does hate Star Wars. He really does.
But,
okay, so what are we looking at here on the screen? You're scrolling around.
I'm just trying to check out really quick.
Okay.
If I can, I want to just get the This is all Black Series.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure we got. All right, we got Star Wars. Okay, all right. So this is the Revan figure I was trying to get, but you can't order it anymore.
Okay.
But I only want it because, well, it's cool and the box is cool. There's the Probe Droid, but that doesn't come out to the 7th, and they don't really have these in order because. All right, here's the game series Battle Droid, and this is going to be available at other stores, but it has like the special box that I was talking about. That's like a purple box, and then
Okay.
this guy, he was an older one, but you can't find him anywhere. I don't know, like you can't order it. If you try and order it, it's only available for store pickup, but it's not available at any stores. So you have to buy it on the secondary market. They're usually about double. But what I'm looking for is the new. Okay, and like this.
My stormtrooper helmet up there. They carry on.
If you look at this dewback, it's $50. You can find it on Amazon on sale for $25 sometimes. It might not be right now, but if you watch for it, it will be.
That same dewback is the one that Eric Struthers was going on about and collecting like crazy. Yeah. Yep. I remember them stories.
I have one of them, but that's all I really need is one.
Yeah, and Eric's got like 4 or 5 and keeping back from Dallas and.
No, see, here you go. Like I was saying this one earlier, the Enfys Nest speeder bike, $60. I think I got mine for $45, and you can find them on you can find them on sale on places for $19.99 or $20 at the right time. And they don't have any of the 40th anniversary Black Series on here. I don't know why for pre-order, but so I don't know why.
So you're still on the hunt for that Darth Revan?
Yeah, that Darth Revan. They're waiting they have it because sometimes they just randomly get them at GameStops. So, like this one, I won't be able to get this one if I want to buy it. I'd have to pay money for it. It was $19.95, and when it came out, now it's $29.95 or $29.99. And if you can't find it, if you want to buy it in the secondary market, it's $50. The same with this Revan, the same with this Battle Droid. They're $50 if you want to buy it in the secondary market, and it's really not that important to me. I'm thinking about kind of going through some of my toys and downsizing a bit because I'm really thinking about the Black Series just really isn't doing it for me anymore. I'm thinking about giving those up and going for some vintage, going for the vintage series.
Yes, Mr. Rez. Black Series, Mr. Bones, or nothing. If only. If only. Rose asking, downsizing?
Well, I mean,
like
it's
crazy talk to him.
I get where he's coming from, but I do too, but it's just getting to the point where,
yeah,
am I collecting Black Series because I collect Black Series, or am I collecting Black Series because I want the Black Series figures? And I think it's getting to the point where I'm collecting Black Series just because I want to collect Black Series, and that's really not a reason to collect something. I'm not collecting them for the figures anymore. I'm collecting them because I collect Black Series, and it's like it doesn't matter what comes out this Black Series. Okay, I'm going to try and buy it. I'm going to get it, and then if I really want to get it, now I got to buy it in the secondary market for this or that. So, I have I have 40 or 50 Black Series from the, original 80 that came out that I bought all secondary. Some of them were cheaper. Some of them were a lot more expensive. And, they sit there and I don't see them. And they're on the bottom shelf of the bookcase that's going to turn into the Black Series Funko bookcase. And now that I have my bookcase pretty much done or somewhat sorted out, that's going to be always ongoing. I don't know if I really want my Black Series and Funkos. I really don't know if I really want that bookcase to be those anymore. I think I might want them to be more vintage. And then, I'm thinking about going crazy about it and taking a while, but collecting the last 17 first, which is usually the opposite way people go at it. And, I don't know. I'm thinking about that sounds a little bit, I think that might be a little bit crazy though. I mean, the last 17 cost you $5,000. It's $1,500 for a Jawa, and all right, Ro, thanks for stopping by. And that's the scuttlebutt. Ha! Get it? I did that for you, buddy.
That might win you a T-shirt, because they got a contest going on. If you're paying attention to their channel and recording yourself with their ending as what you just said, that's a scuttlebutt. Yeah, take a look into their Twitterverse, because they're asking for friends to make a short video and end with what they end their show with. That's scuttlebutt. Yeah, that might win you a Scare Scuttlebutt T-shirt, and you just did it in live form, Michael. Maybe you get it. Maybe you get a Scare Scuttlebutt T-shirt.
Maybe. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Somebody knows.
Maybe we don't know who that somebody is, but not for us to say. But yeah, there's always somebody that knows. Sometimes we know, sometimes we don't.
I came across this.
Go ahead.
I came across this book while I was doing my stuff, and it's this right here: 1,000 Things Star Wars Fans Should Know and Do Before They Die.
And who done that book? Who's the author, or who's the makers of that book?
Dan Casey, Triumph Books.
Okay.
And we have a copyright date of 2015, so fairly new.
Okay.
It's fucking 5 years ago, but I'm like, oh yeah, it's a new book, but it's really not a new book. Yeah, I actually have another video I have to make tonight after this, and I have maybe I'll record a little video for them and send it to them too. Who knows? I don't even know if I'm going to do it. So let's see if I have an update on what time I'm allowed to record till. I have 62 ideas from Pinterest waiting for me. And I have somebody working on some art for me for the channel. Wendy's new breakfast menu has arrived, just so everybody knows, for you fast food breakfast eaters. I didn't click on it, I don't know what it is, but Judge Judy is dead. I'm going to guess that is not true. It's just popped up on my phone. Judge Judy is dead.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know what that is. It comes from Google app told me it, so it must be true.
Believe everything the internet tells you.
I believe everything the internet tells me, 100%.
I got a new book coming to me. It ain't in relation to Star Wars, but Yin's maybe been paying attention. I've been dipping some hand or two into that Galaxy's Edge cookbook from what I've been sharing. Yeah. I just went and found out over the weekend that Firefly Galaxy / Universe also got a cookbook kind of in relation to that same Star Wars thing. And it's also got 70 recipes, and I'm hoping, I just found it. I tripped over it by accident this weekend, and I went and bought it and picked it up. So I'm hoping, had it sent to me to my work tomorrow. So I'm hoping when I leave my work tomorrow at the end of the workday, I'm going to be coming home with that Firefly Verse cookbook and sharing some more. I can't recommend that Galaxy's Edge cookbook enough. There's so many good recipes and things that folks ain't never. I'm thinking you ain't never had food like that, and give that a try. And I also got an E11 blaster coming to me, so that goes with my Stormtrooper helmet right back up a little bit later on. But that's what I got to say about that.
What helmet you have coming?
I got that Firefly cookbook and my E11 blaster that I'll share. Oh, here goes Charles. Thank you, Charles Westcott. And thank you, Mr. Rez.
Oh, is everybody leaving out?
No, this chat room's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like a lively chat room. I mean, I don't catch it a lot, but because I'm, it's either a lot of times we have stuff to talk about and there's a lot of talking, or this one we're kind of searching for stuff. I have something I'm looking for that I'm trying to find while we're talking about books. If anybody out there likes books, let me know. Well, not let me know, but Wanderer or The Wanderers by Chuck Wendig is an amazing book. It was not at all what I was expecting, but it had me the entire time. It was captivating. It got me through a couple of really good work days. And I mean, it has a little bit of a Star Wars collection or connection because Chuck Wendig.
I did hear some other friends speak to that.
Well, we had some of the people from the Bad Motivators and Cannibite Dispatch were talking about it, and they got me, and so I said I'm going to take a look at it, and I got it, and it was really good. I don't know if anybody out there has an Audible subscription or not. I should find out if I can get an Audible thing going on with those, what they do. I don't know. Because I have my subscription, and I have quite a few books that I can still get, but I think I have like 5 books on there that I can 5 credits on there, and those are going to be gone really quick though. Once I get, like, I got the one book for. Did I get that book or did I pay for it? Because some of the books, it costs me $22 a month, and I get 2 books, so it's $11. A lot of the books are $20. But sometimes you can find them for $7 or $8. So I'll buy the book for $7 or $8 and still save my credits because, why lose the $4 when I can have the credit still there? But I still have to get the Rise of Skywalker, and there's another Alphabet Squadron book coming out, and another Thrawn book, I believe, coming out in the next few months. And then we get to August. then we get to August, and we have the High Times starting with their literature.
Oh, the light of the Jedi.
The high Disney people.
Oh, no, that's escaping me. No. Let me think here.
What's escaping you?
Yeah, it went that away.
So are you caught up on hang on. Are you caught up on
my Star Wars podcast playlist?
No, I'm never caught up on that. Well, because that's the thing. It's like tomorrow I'm going to be able to rebel. But I'm working a short shift. I'm only working 5 to 10, I think. So I have a short shift tomorrow. But all that time will be the majority of that time will be rebelling.
Okay, so do you have in your playlist Jedi Fangirl? Her name's Cheryl.
All right, is that what we're gonna do? Well, let's see.
If you don't, Jedi Fangirl, Everyday Troopers, also a brand new Star Wars podcast.
All right, hang on. Give me a second.
All
Jedi
right,
Fangirl. She's been in this chat before. She's
yeah,
in this chat.
I've been trying regular to get her included to many of our friends' things. Yeah, right, she's a brand new show.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of the brand new ones aren't on Podbean. That's what I have. That's my main one that I use. But let's see. I'm going to add. Let's see, Jedi. For those of you watching, I know this is riveting. And those of you listening, this is even better. But add Jedi Fangirl to your playlist, or at least give it a shot to see what they got.
Yep.
What was the other one you said?
There's another brand new one, and I just learned today that they're neighbors to me here in rural Western Pennsylvania.
Everyday Troopers?
Yep. No, not that's another new one, and there are a couple of friends that decided to go and make a new Star Wars podcast. But there's a couple of boys that I learned, and I say boys because they're younger than me, because RFB's a little bit older Star Wars fan, but these couple of fellas are a little bit northeast of me here in rural Western Pennsylvania, and their show is also a new show called From a Certain Point of View. Just like that book that has those 40 authors. And they do a really good show from a certain point of view. That's a recommended listening by me.
Well, I've added all three of those. I've added all three.
Good news show. And let's see here. Who's the other newest one? Everybody know about Radio Dakar? You know who Doug is?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Going by that one. Yeah, that's also recommended listening by me. Let's see here. Star Wars All In. That is Mac and Ross. And they're down. Them boys are in Pittsburgh, because I'm northeast of Pittsburgh. And their show's also pretty new. Everybody knows about Star Wars Friends. And them boys are over in Ohio. And Star Wars Friends been lighting that Twitterverse on fire. So if you're not sure who Star Wars Friends is, They want to be your friend. Trust me. And you're gonna really want to be friends with them.
Yeah, I have Star Wars friends in my. I have them in my list. They just dropped a new one 2 hours ago. Echo Lives.
Yeah, I love them boys. And Chris is their host of their show. He was just at Galaxy's Edge, and he was just burning up the Twitterverse and sharing things with what he's seeing where he was down at. Chris went to Bacta, and he shared it all with all of us. Him and his girlfriend did. And let's see here. Oh, the Blue Milk Cafe. That's Jeff.
Yep.
Yes. Also pick him up. Don't miss out on him. And pay attention to the Cannon Cantina, because Jesse's off being a dad, and Mike's picking it up, and he's sharing some. What's going on now? The National Basketball Association, the NBA is doing their playoffs, but what Mike and the Cannon Cantina is doing is sharing. He's got a poll going on in the way of the Star Wars characters, and he's got, I want to say it's either 16 or 24. Yeah, pay attention to Twitter first. He's asking for your favorites. He's going to pair them up 2 and 2 and asking who you think your favorite, in your opinion, is one over another. And I want to go and take a quick scroll. And
all right, Anthony. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read to you.
Go.
I'm going to read to you my list of what I have.
Okay.
I remember I used to have a much bigger list. So let me know if you think there's anybody on my list that I'm missing, because I know there still is, and I'm not going to be able to listen to everybody every week. Some weeks they might get skipped, especially when there are weeks where everybody's talking about the same thing. Everybody's talking about Project Luminous. Okay. But on my list right now, this is what I have. Star Wars Spelled Out, Scruffy Podcasters, The Resistance Broadcast, Rogue Rebels, Contingency Plan, 7x7, Star Wars Underworld, Imperial Senate, Star Wars Rambling, Doing Talking, Friends of the Force, Cannon Cantina, Hyperspace Hangout, Shaken Not Nerd, The Sith List, Around the Galaxy, My Nerd World, Sparker Rebellion, Blue Harvest, Will Communication, Inside the Force, The Living Force, Canto Bite Dispatch, Coffee with Kenobi, The Wampa's Lair, Rogue One, Bombad Cast, Star Wars Session, Rogue Podron, Full of Sith, Beyond the Outer Rim, A More Civilized Podcast, Star Wars Report, Bad Motivators, WSTR, Tarkin's Top Shelf, The Mandalorian Watch, 2187, Cantina Cast, Canto Cast, Scarif Scuttlebutt, Twin Sons, Force Toast, Blast Points, Brews and Blasters, Steel Wars, Idiots Array, Wookiee Radio, Hey Hey the Podcast, Tatooine and Sons, The Resistance Broadcast, Now This Is Podcasting, Jedi Temple, Kanata's Castle, Broaxium, I'm a Bit of an Expert, Rogue Squadron Podcast, Star Wars 101, Geek Dudes, Jump to Lightspeed, Prince and Wolf, Jantram's Mission, even though they're not making anything right now, I still have them in there. The Geek Pod, Jump to Lightspeed, Star Wars Bookworms, Star Wars New Canon, Imperial Scum, Fulcrum's Broadcast, the TooMedToo's channel. That one's in there. Kind of weird. Hang on. Then we go to... I subscribe to myself, but that's on Podbean. I don't put anything on Podbean. Then I have Blue Milk Cafe, Galactic Podcast, Octu Radio, Talking Sith, Rancor Review, Conversations, Do Back Discussions, Star Wars All In, Sith Talkers, Black Squadron Podcast, It's True, All of It, Johnny Orm, Life Debt.
Yes.
His is just a picture, so it took me a second. I had to think about it. Star Wars Friends, the Nerd Academy, and then I just added Jedi Fangirl, Everyday Troopers, and From a Certain Point of View, and then Blabba the Hutt. Blabba the Hutt's a good one. They're very sporadic when they do it.
It is.
It's a girl from Arizona and a guy from Ireland, and there might be a third one that pops in every now and then, but sometimes they do it right in a row, sometimes weeks in a row, sometimes it's a month or two in between, but I like catching them when they come in. But I haven't heard them in a while because they were on my Podbean and they stopped doing Podbean. You got to pay for Podbean. Podbean, I think, is $10 a month. So a lot of people pay it because it's whatever. A lot of people use it, but I think they were doing it for a while and they got rid of it, so I had to add them on my Google Podcasts. But I always have problems with my podcast because I don't have an Apple phone or an Apple product, so I jump in and out. So yeah, what am I missing on?
I heard you say Star Wars Report. That's Riley Blanton. Yeah, his show. He was nearly 16 years old, maybe if that, when he started Star Wars podcasting. About the same time that I picked up my playlist, and now Riley's an officer in the U.S. Air Force, and he's still carrying on this Star Wars podcast. He done it all by himself, and now he got co-hosts on his show, including let me go and say, gotta take a quick look. Yeah, Aaron Goins, if that's a name that rings a bell.
Aaron Goins, I believe. That sounds familiar.
Bookworms. Star Wars Bookworms.
Okay.
Yeah. Riley's he always ends the show with many Bothans have died to bring you this Star Wars podcast. And I keep saying, Riley, quit killing Bothans. Oh, geez. Okay, but no. I want to go say Josh Chapman, Star Wars Spelled Out. Add that to your playlist. And Star Wars Sessions. That's Matt and Luke over in the UK. Add that to your playlist.
No, I think I said them. I'm pretty sure I did because I got them on there. Unless I skipped over them, but yeah, I got them. Okay. I listened to them
University of Coruscant. Sonny Ravencourt. Brand new show. Really good. Really fun. I cannot recommend them enough. And they're also friends with the Jedi Temple Archives and Roe from Scarif Scuttlebutt. So there's a threesome right there. And Star Wars Reactions. They started out with a show talking about Star Wars Resistance and Star Wars Animation. But now they changed their name from Resistance Reactions to Star Wars Reactions. And they're also kind of a little bit tied to, they started out with Coffee with Kenobi, but now they're their own thing. And also Jason and Carl, the Wampalaya Boys, also get them in your playlist. And
I got them in
there. Okay. Unmistakably Star Wars. That show right there, if I say unmistakably Star Wars and you think Twitterverse, who's the one fella that is their top listener, maybe come to your mind? There's only one. Unmistakably Star Wars is one of our friends' most favorite show. And I'm not going to go and name any kind of Neil Lowry names, but who can you think of that would be unmistakably Star Wars?
I used to have them in my list. You remember when I was having all those problems? I went from 100 and and I was listening to them.
Yeah.
That's when I was
Yeah.
the way my schedule was and everything, and I was able to rebel at work and everything. I was listening to almost what was it, like 160 podcasts a week, and that's what everybody was joking. That's what I told well, I wasn't really telling people, but everyone called you the podcast king, and I said, oh no, I've surpassed him. Anthony's now the prince, and now you've definitely taken that back, and I'm back down as just a peasant. Well, my list is probably pretty impressive what I listen to on a weekly basis compared to what most people listen to. But yeah, so
yeah,
what else?
I got you.
What else? It really depends on the week, and then I've supposed to have been training at work for my promotion, and it's just what most people take months and months. Well, it's been months that I've supposed to have been training, but I haven't been training because of just the way things are at work. I haven't been able to put in the time to do it because I can't do my job if I'm training. So somebody has to do my job for me, but that costs hours that they can't. It's corporate, so they can't spend the hours for someone else to do my job. So I have to fit in whenever I can. So basically, I really haven't trained in the last couple months like I'm supposed to have been. And the last week or so, I took 5 of my tests that usually take 3 or 4 months for people to do, and I did it last week just because I know everything. I don't need to be trained. I just have to take the advancement tests and everything. So, it's nothing hard. It's nothing rocket scientist. It's just knowing, things and whatnot. But yeah, so, it's like I took 3 tests in one day. That's like 3 or 4 months worth of stuff of learning that most people would do if they were new. And I did it in 3 days, or I did 3 in one day because I just took the test and then read over the material and took the test because I already knew everything. It's just knowing specific things like what's this supposed to be, and what it doesn't really matter. I'm just talking about nothing now. So, yeah. So I guess that's Anyways, so like I told you, I said I'm going to be rebelling, but I have some testing and studying to do, and in between my testing and studying, I rebelled, which I probably should have done more studying. But hey, I got 196 and a 92 on my tests on those 3 days, so I think that's pretty good, and another 96, I think. So I've done 4 of my 5 tests that I did last week, and whatever. But when you work someplace long enough, you know everything. It's not, you don't really have to train. You just have to take. It's time for putting aside and take your test. So what else you got for me, Anthony? For those of you that are just popping in here, Anthony and I are just discussing our playlists and going through them.
I'm taking a look at the chat. Misty Raven Spencer's here.
Oh,
seen her over in Rebel Scum. Welcome, girl. Let's see who else we got here. Just Misty Raven. Yes, Charles. Neil. Every time.
Well, it's funny because normally our chat's full of all podcasters and YouTube creators, and
it is.
Today it's not so much. Today it's the normal the normies coming in.
I aim to get some more new friends in here. I tagged some friends before we started.
I aim to get some new friends in here too, because I want to just talk Star Wars with my friends. And so let's see.
Yes, Charles, we serve droids. Yes, we serve droids podcasts. Yeah, Charles and Pat, they had a helping hand with We Serve Droids this past weekend. And that was a lot of fun to listen to. And hope that happens some more. I had that in my playlist. No, I want to get some local friends. You know who Evan Dentures. You know who Evan DeTellis is? He makes art. Yes, you know who Evan is. He's local to me. Okay, so I'll go and call out J.G. Karst. That fellow's name ring a bell to you too? He's
yes, sir.
a young Star podcast.
He was doing some correspondence work with Tatooine and Sons for a little while.
Yeah.
And
he had his own
stopped.
show. He had his own show called Blue Saber.
Yep, he only had that for a little while though. He only did a couple episodes.
Yeah, I've been trying to pick up Mr. JG and get him into live chats like this because he's missing talking Star Wars with friends. And this is where I would love for him to be, because this is all of us here now, and love for him to be here. So I'm going to go include him in my hashtag live chat cruise, and hope he's going to come and be included, because there's many more friends you don't know want to be friends with him. A lot of them's found here.
Oh yeah, so I had them in my playlist before too. I had so many people in my playlist before I don't even remember what they were after it got erased 3 or 4 times in a row. So we'll see. And then anybody else want to hop up on here and get in the tank and talk about some Star Wars podcasts with us? Anybody in here have a Star Wars podcast they want to talk about? I know someone in here has a Star Wars podcast, and they're not talking about theirs. They're talking about other people's, which is great. But, talk about yours.
Well, Mr. Rez has still been hanging here in the chat with us, and I know he don't have a Star Wars podcast, but he also loves Star Wars, same as you and me, and all of us.
Well, there's the link if anybody wants to come in and.
I'd like to see Miss D. Reverend Spencer on the screen come talk with us. She just posted up a couple seconds ago. Miss D. Raven, hit Michael up. Ask him for that way into the stream. Get on screen, girl. Let's talk Star Wars.
Yeah, if you wanna come chat Star Wars come talk about Luke with us. I just posted the link there, and I know some people don't want to be on camera, so you don't need to be on camera. You can leave that blank.
Nah, Charles Westcott's got Padawans to put to bed, so he's out. So, Mr. Raven, if you're open. Okay, she's taking a look. She said, let me figure out how it works.
It's really simple. All you need to do is you click the link, and it brings you onto a screen, and you can either have your camera on and have yourself on screen, or you upload a picture that you want to be on there. Instead, you type in whatever name you want it to be. Today I used to be known as Michael Condon, but today I am the Condor. Does anyone know where the Condor comes from?
I want to go and say it was because some folks were misspeaking your last name.
It is, but you know who?
I might have at one time.
It was Araj. Araj and I had this thing going where he could have pronounced.
Caught that one.
Dolo Shahi is his name, which is really hard to pronounce. I can pronounce it no problem, but he was having problems with my name, so I was joking around with him. So he started calling me the Condor. That was a couple of years ago. He started calling me the Condor. And okay. Hello.
Am I here?
You are here.
I made it.
Yay.
Sorry, I'm not going with the cam tonight because I worked from home today and I look like it.
That's fine.
Misty Raven, howdy, girl. You're good.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So I will happily talk about Luke at any point, but I think you guys should decide what we talk about.
Well, Yeah, it's your first time. It's your first time getting tanked with us. So,
No, ma'am, you're the guest. It goes
Oh, okay.
your way.
Well, actually,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know, rather than talking about Luke, let me ask a very simple Star Wars question that I heard discussed amongst some friends of mine recently in a Star Wars discussion. Can
Sure.
you be a Jedi if you are not related to someone else who is a Jedi? This was the question that was being discussed. Because I was told, or I shouldn't say I was told, the group was told by one of my friends that you absolutely unequivocally cannot at all be a Jedi unless you are related to another Jedi. You might be force sensitive, but you can't be a Jedi unless you're related to one. This is what the group was told. I'm curious as to what everyone else thinks.
okay. Well, Anthony, you want to start with this, or you want me to go?
Go, Mike.
Okay.
And for the record, before you even say anything, I don't really have a strong opinion on this. I'm just curious. I'm lying. I have a strong opinion on it.
Well, tell us what your. I just stood in front of the camera and scratched my belly. I was gonna, tell us what your opinion is.
For me, being a Star Wars fan since pretty much birth, it's a family thing. Obviously, I'm old enough to remember. I was always under the impression that being a Jedi was very much like anything else. If you were willing to put in the work and the effort and the study and all of the, you know, everything that it takes, you can be a Jedi. But in this group conversation we were having, this friend of mine who is, you know, a big Star Wars fan, very knowledgeable, so not some, you know, rando off the street, you know, but he specified that you absolutely could not ever be a Jedi if you aren't related to one. And I felt like that was different from what I had learned. And I'll be honest with you, I was kind of annoyed by that because I always kind of felt it was a little bit more open than that. And I'm just kind of curious as to what other people think.
Now this is just for understanding, Miss T. Raven. You're an original generation fan like myself. Do I understand that correctly? Okay.
I was born the year Star Wars came out and saw it very, very early.
All right. Well, just for me, I was born 10 years earlier before Star Wars come out. But
so you enjoyed it a little bit more than I did.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Just like a little bit.
Yeah. So we learned through time, little bit at a time, about many things concerning Jedi, up to, I want to say, the prequels, pretty much. And even in them times, we still only learned a little bit.
Right.
And yeah, even concerning that, there weren't things that we were told through way of this story about folks learning about things concerning the Force and being in relation to one another. So I would go and say, in my opinion, no, it doesn't have to do with being related to one or another concerning the Force. It's got to do with one's self.
Okay.
If you take my meaning.
I do, and I agree 100%.
Yeah, I think that.
There we go.
I think that when we have the OT, and just so you know, now all right, what do you want? What do you want me to call you? You want me to call you D? You want me to call you Raven? You want me to call you Spencer? You want me to call you something else?
D Raven.
You can call me Raven. The D is a joke title.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
Didn't know that. Okay.
Right,
it stands for it's a very, very old nickname of mine, but it stands for Duchess. I just shorten it.
Okay.
Oh, we have royalty. Very nice.
Not royalty, just nobility. I'm a dowager Duchess, baby. I'm too old to be royalty.
Very good.
I mean, you start off in the the OT. Well, I've always had Star Wars around me. I was born in '78, but I have older brother and older cousins. So growing up, even as a baby and a toddler, I was probably putting 3.75-inch figures in my mouth before I even had teeth, and so that's from the OT. So that's how I kind of grew up with them and always having them as toys and things like that. But for this
Same
question,
here. My mother had a crush on Darth Vader, so.
You really don't find out anything about the Jedi except Luke's father was a Jedi. So you have that, that maybe it's passed down as a genetic trait or something like that.
Yep.
But and then you find out later on that he has a sister that has it too. So that's your first impressions of it. Kind of runs in the family. But then you get the prequel trilogies, and there's tens of thousands of Jedis, and all over the galaxy, and they're not related. And we find out through the Clone Wars that the Jedi are going and basically just kidnapping these children that are Force sensitive. Whether depending on how you want to look at it, if it's a good thing or bad thing or kidnapping or whatever. So obviously they're not related to them, or they would know. I think it's one of those things where if you look at hockey players or football players or basketball players, their offspring might be good at whatever sport their parent was good at, or any sport basically, just because of genetics. But you could have, and then they're brought up like that, so they I know a couple of hockey players and a couple of coaches in the NHL, and they're sitting there with their kids while they're watching hockey or whatever out for dinner, or it's on the screen when they're picking up food, and they're like, okay, you see what he did there, you see how he did this. So they're always being taught, always learning. So you have the aspect of they might not be the best athlete, but they know the sport, how to play it. So you might have the same thing along with the Jedi, but you also have children or offspring of sports players that can't dribble a basketball, and the other guy's the best fathers in the NBA for dunking, or something along those lines. So unequivocally, no, not at all. Do you have to be related to be a Jedi?
All right. Well, I'm gonna say the three of us saying that it makes it true.
Yeah. And in some instances, the Force was strong. Luke says the Force is strong in my family. My father had it. I have it. My sister has it. Well, if there would have been another Skywalker, they might not have had a midichlorian count at all, very low. And, so, when it comes to that, I can see why someone might think that, but that would just be based off of the information you're given off of the OT, but not anything else, because then where does Obi-Wan play into it? What about Obi-Wan's offspring that we don't know about, that he had with Duchess Satine, that we haven't found out about yet, that we're going to find out in a story in 20 years? That isn't a Force wielder or whatever. So it's one of those things, and I think they even talk about it where everybody has some Force ability. On a scale of 1 to 10, some people might be 0, some people might be 10, but you need to know what to do with it. And if you look at the book Force Collector, his parents, didn't tell him that his grandfather was a Jedi, and his grandmother wanted to tell him, but the parents didn't want him to, so he doesn't find out till later. But he touches things and can see the past of it. I can't think of what it's called right now. But he can touch something and feel it, and then he gets that sense of what happened. That's why he's getting confused in the story, because he's seen Skywalker because he's touching something from Anakin, and then later on he's seeing Skywalker because he's touching something from Luke, and he doesn't realize that Skywalker is 2 different people. He's thinking it's the same person, so he's having problems trying to figure that out. But he also goes from not knowing how to use that power and having seizures to the end of the book being able to control it somewhat, and feeling faint or having a headache or something from it. So just that little while he goes from having a power he doesn't know how to use or explain, and people thinking he's sick to him being able to use this power. Well, if he has that power, chances are he has other powers. And the Jedi have certain powers that some of them have things and some of them don't. So one Jedi might be able to do, have power A, and another Jedi might not be able to, but they have power B and the other one can't do it. So, and that makes when they have more of those powers, that makes them a stronger Force user, and they can then become Jedis, or they're trained how to use those powers. So yeah, after my little rant right there, I think we're all on agreement that you do not have to be related to you don't have to be related to a Force user to become a Force user, and you can be a Force user without being a Jedi.
Yep.
But you might not know, especially in the Star Wars or in the Skywalker saga, in the prequels, they would go and find you. And towards the end of the saga, if you're a Force user, you don't know what to do with it. Like Broom Boy, he knows he can grab the broom from across the room, but he might not know how to do other things. And that's where we need Rey's episode 10, Rey's Jedi school that she's going to start.
Well, and here's where my thought process was, and bear with me if I'm being ridiculous. But there are two main points. Number one, I've read my Jedi code front to back, and it doesn't say anything about I have to be related to anybody. Number one. Number two, and slightly more deep, and here comes my nerdy side. Throughout the entirety of human history, people who are knights are not given that title by their birth. Granted, they generally have to be noble born, but you can become a knight by your skills, your deeds, your ability. So by them being Jedi Knights from the beginning, to me, that automatically implied that it was something that, given the proper work and effort put in, anyone can do. It's kind of like becoming a black belt in karate. You can be a black belt without, any specific qualifications other than learning, practicing, getting good, passing the test. So to me, it's always going to have been a little bit deeper than that. If you're a knight, you don't have to be anybody. That's how you get to be somebody.
Yeah, and I think
it's learned and earned.
It's learned, and then I'm going to make the correlation, like you said, karate. You got the Karate Kid, you got Johnny Lawrence, who his whole life has been being trained in karate, and then you have Daniel LaRusso, who has never trained a day, or took a couple classes at the Y, but all of a sudden your teachers then are what make a big difference. And I think that if you look at like the Clone Wars and the cartoon, I don't know if you're familiar with the cartoon or not. I don't know your level of Star Wars nerdiness. Okay, so that Ahsoka comes and they're like, oh my God, how's Obi-Wan going to have two Padawans? No, this is your Padawan. And Anakin's like, no, I'm not going to have a Padawan. They would never give me one. And it's like they match up Padawans with their masters for a reason.
Right.
So, for whatever the reason, Ahsoka was just as important to Anakin as Anakin was to Ahsoka, because Ahsoka made Anakin grow up and not be a little bitch or so much of one anymore as he was. I mean, well, he was nice, a whiny, he was a whiny little brat.
Hey, that's my father-in-law you're talking about.
But it's true. He was a whiny little brat, and
he was.
The Clone Wars is amazing because it shows how Anakin and Obi-Wan were actually together, more brothers, which we needed to fill in. I think the Star Wars saga could have been from start to finish 20 movies. The prequels could have been another 3 or 4 movies just dealing with Anakin and Obi-Wan, but that's not what we got. That's not how it is. But I'm just saying, like, something like that could have been done, and that's what the Clone Wars cartoon is. It's filling in the story that we don't have, and they didn't make another movie out of it. They did, 20 episodes at 20 minutes each. So they did 6 hours each season. So we got another 40 hours of Star Wars in between of Anakin, and you know, you got a little bit off there, but which is we didn't even talk about today. We didn't talk about the last episode of Clone Wars, where it looks like Padme's baby bump is gone. It looks like they got rid of that somehow. Because if you look at the picture from the trailer and the picture from what they released, it looks like her stomach's gone a little bit, which also brings up the whole story that we've had arguments about. But the Rise, or not the Rise of Skywalker, Revenge of the Sith is only like a week and a half long, time-wise. And that's according to Matt Martin and Pablo Hidalgo when he still was on Twitter or actively on Twitter. He couldn't believe that people thought it took place over months but everyone based that on how pregnant Padme was.
Right.
And I mean, we've never seen a pregnant we've never seen a pregnant woman in Star Wars before. So even though they're humans or human-like, she might not get that big. They might not get that big, or her personally. You know, you hear the stories of people not knowing they were pregnant and they pop out a kid, and other people that can't walk after 5 or 6 months because they're so big. Everybody's different. So I mean,
and maybe the fates have been kind and made gestation way shorter for women.
Yeah, I mean that's I mean, so everyone was based it on that. So that's my thing when people that's I say argument, but a conversation, whatever, that people are like, oh no, it's this many months. Look how pregnant she was. And then they try and use the battles and times of traveling and everything. And it's like, no, it takes place over like 10 days. The entire movie. We just think it just appears to be longer. But if you look at it day by day, according to the story group, it takes place over about 10 days. But anyways, oh yeah, we were talking about the Clone Wars cartoon. So when Rex is guarding, this is amazing. When Rex is guarding the barracks for Anakin to make his phone call, Obi-Wan knows something's going on. Obi-Wan knows pretty much something is going on. And when Rex can't give him an answer, it's like a kid getting busted by his parent. Keep a lookout for his friend. When you were in high school and you were smoking in the bathroom and somebody was at the door watching for the teachers, and you had your signal or whatever, the teacher knows what's going on and they're trying to bust you, but it's not that big of a deal because you're busted, they know you're busted, you're not going to get caught.
I never got busted.
We used to have this thing. It was called the foot. Somebody would stand there with their foot up, their heel on the ground and their toes up. And everybody would be at the stall smoking. And if a teacher was going to come in the bathroom, they put their foot down and everybody would throw their cigarette out. So you never get busted. The bathroom is full of smoke, but nobody's got a cigarette in their hand. I used to have this one.
Throw ours like 6 stalls down. So that if they came over you, you're like, there's nothing here.
We used to have this one teacher. He would just walk into the bathroom, so everybody throw their cigarettes out, and he'd walk out. He wouldn't even go in there to bust anybody because he knew you couldn't. And if you did, it wasn't trying to prove it. Unless you see someone smoking it, it's almost impossible. But
yeah.
So then Anakin walks away or whatever, and Obi-Wan's like, "Well, I hope at least you told Padme I said hello." So, are we gonna find out more of this storyline between Obi-Wan knowing or thinking, or what does he think's going on with the two of them? Does he know yet? Now I have to find out. They're married now, I believe. Yeah, they're married because
this here was the long form version of Obi-Wan understanding and knowing that Anakin and Padme were a thing. Did I get that right?
Yeah. Did you see the cartoon, Anthony? Did you watch it already, Anthony?
Yeah, episode 2, Clone Wars.
Yeah.
When we see, yeah.
So
Obi-Wan knows. He knows. He does know.
Well, he knows.
He told us
there's been other times in Star Wars that Obi-Wan has insinuated things, about watching your feelings and him understanding. But now this is the most of an extent we know that he knows. And now the question is, what does he know? Does he know they're married and he's just keeping it a secret? Does he know that they're friends? And I don't know, Raven, what do you think about
He
this?
knows. I believe he knows that they're together, and he's just keeping it himself.
I agree. I agree 100%. I think he's fully aware of it. I think he's just choosing not to, plausible deniability, as it were. If I don't say anything, then it seems like I don't know.
Yeah, he's not making it public. He's keeping it to himself.
Yep.
But he's letting Anakin know at the same time.
I'm on to you,
hey,
kid.
buddy.
Yep.
Yeah. I know about this. Yeah.
Well, that's part of the parental role that Obi-Wan did play. I mean, even though, we do definitely see him behaving more like an older brother, mentor, which is obvious in that particular relationship. But I think to a certain degree, too, there was a lot of parenting going on with Obi-Wan, at points.
Agreed.
And I think he did definitely, to me personally, that's how I feel. It's like he knew. It was just kind of like, well, until I have to admit that I know, I don't know. But Anakin, for the record, I know. I think that's really kind of where he was at. Is just, I do know, but I don't know.
And it's going to be interesting if they do. If they do build on that, if they do build on that scene or show more of anything about that, because that makes Revenge of the Sith. Like, I'm getting like chills. It sounds probably corny to any, but I'm getting like chills right now just thinking about like the way that they are, like they are brothers, and keeping it secret like that. Like he'd be, if anyone found out, he'd be kicked out of the Jedi. He wouldn't be, and he's keeping the secret.
Yeah.
He'd no longer be in the Order if they found out that this was going on, and he's keeping the secret because he loves him. Like he says, you were my brother. I loved you, and it shows just more of an impact of.
Well, I have 2 younger sisters, and I can tell you that that's exactly how older sisters behave, older siblings behave. From my personal experience, I've certainly been aware of my sisters doing things that they weren't supposed to do. Not quite getting married and having kids without telling my parents, but certainly other things. And, it's like, it's not necessarily that I approve. It's not necessarily that I'm saying this is great. I'm just not going to say anything right now, but just FYI, I'm fully aware of what kind of business you're getting up to, but I think that, again, that's the relationship that they had. And I think that from Obi-Wan's perspective at that time, that was the best way to handle it. Was if something goes down, I'm aware of the situation and we'll handle it when something goes down. But until then, I'm just going to hope that nothing goes down, even though I totally know something's going to. That was kind of my
exactly, Misty Raven. There's these same real life experiences that are told to us in this story in a certain kind of way. Yes, exactly.
Always.
Yeah, it's just that over and over again in so many different ways. And to this here point, just like that right there now. Yeah, exactly the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that's just it's a lot simpler than sometimes we try to make it out to be. Sometimes it is just simply, hey, this is my little bro, and I'm not going to let him get into trouble, so I'm going to keep an eye on him, but I'm not going to out him either until I absolutely have to.
No, some of us want to go and make this really complicated when it's a really simple thing to see if you're paying attention. It's not as complicated as what we want it to be. It's just that.
It's okay to make it complicated, and there's nothing wrong with getting super deep into it and looking at every single tiny little, nuance in a situation. I think that's good too. I think critical thinking is good at any level. But I think some of the things that we tend to get into huge discussions about, and the Twitter goes insane. sometimes it is a lot more simple than that. I think it's, and sometimes it's better to try to connect it to something that you can understand in the real world to make something that may not seem so simple suddenly be more simple, I guess. That was really articulate of me, you guys. Jeez. Somebody get me a drink.
It's
just don't go past the point. Stay on point. Don't go past it, because you go past it, then you're getting lost to your own self. No, it's pretty simple to see.
I get lost in my own stuff all the time when I'm talking. But really quick, we have Travis. We have Travis in the chat room and Brian in the chat room. Thanks for stopping by. You were here a little while ago. I don't know if you're still here. But the giveaway or donation is going to be this weekend. I'm waiting for YouTube to update the list. I'm still 2 days ago from people that have subscribed, so I need to get that up to date. I know where the cutoff is for people, and then they'll be done either Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon. Because I'm working the rest of the week after today. So by the time I get all that information and get everything, I got to go through everybody's name and then number them. And, there's 750 people. So that takes a little while. YouTube doesn't give me numbers on it. It just spits out the list. So that's how it's going to be. So, yeah, it's I had somebody as soon as I hit 750, someone messaged me and they're like, "Are you gonna do it right now?" And I was like, "No, dude. I understand you're excited for the contest, but it takes, I'm at work right now, and it takes a little while, and then, I cut it off at 750. At 753. So whoever, it's just there's a process, but I know what I'm doing. It's not the first time I've done it, so it takes a couple of days. You can't do it right away to get everybody in there. They'd either be in this one or in the next one. So, but they signed up during this giveaway, so that's when it's fair to put them in. So I put them on the next one. But yeah. So, anyways, all right. So Raven, I hear a rumor that your favorite Star Wars character is Luke.
Well, yes and no. Yes, Luke is my favorite character, but deep down I have a deep and abiding love for Boba Fett.
Oh, okay.
He is the center of my small collection because he's my guy. He's always been my guy.
What kind of collection do you have?
Well, I generally just kind of come to work and find Star Wars things on my desk from my fellow workers who know that I like toys, and they bring me toys. So I have all sorts of Lego kits and not too many figurines because I play with action figures. I can't keep them in package, so I tell people not to get me action figures. So just a lot of random things from people that they just find in a store, and they're like, "Oh, I thought of you, and here's this." So, but my Boba Fett centerpiece is the large sculptured action figure of him being pulled into the Sarlacc pit, got the tentacles wrapped around him, blaster in the air, and he's kind of midair. It's a really beautiful. It's the Boba Fett Unleashed.
Is that hot?
It's the only thing I've ever bought that I didn't open.
Is that Hot Toys or?
I would have to actually go look at it, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. I just know that Unleashed was the particular giant thing on the front, but it's a fairly good size. He's probably, I would say he's a foot tall, easily more than that. The whole thing.
Because Hot Toys is coming out with a couple, I believe, a new Boba Fett and a Mandalorian, and I think we're gonna get a lot of Boba Fett along with the Mandalorian, even if. So is Boba Fett the jingly guy in episode 6?
In my opinion, Boba Fett is dead, but you don't want to ask my opinion.
No,
Boba
Fett died in the Sarlacc pit.
An opinion. I think Boba Fett is dead.
Everyone is allowed to have an opinion here.
I think he's dead, but I'm not.
You think he died in the Sarlacc pit?
I do, but but for me personally, I'm one of the people that I love to see Star Wars, the new stuff that's coming out, connect to the old stuff. to bring that in. But I also think that the major thing that makes Star Wars so fantastic, I think, for such a large group of people, I mean, when you look around at Celebration, it's not 5 people. It's a ton of people, and they're from everywhere, and they're from everything. Hi, Dark Kylo. And the thing is that everybody kind of gloms onto who, you know, they glom onto. And sometimes it's a guy in the background at the cantina, and sometimes it's, you know, Princess Leia right there in front of everybody. Everybody connects to somebody different. And I think that that's what makes Star Wars really fantastic. For me, Boba Fett was mysterious, and nobody really knew what he looked like underneath that helmet. And looking the way that I do in my family full of blonde-haired, blue-eyed people, I loved the idea of somebody who could walk around and nobody would know if he fit in or didn't fit in. So he was always somebody that I just kind of glommed onto for that fact. Luke, I love because I love his, you know, naivete. I just never had that. I was never that sweet and whiny about power converters. Okay, seriously, but he made up for it.
Is it more like you have a thing for Luke, or you had a thing for Luke growing up?
When I was a kid, yeah, for sure.
Was Luke?
Yeah, for sure.
You were in love with Luke. He was, you know, when you kissed your pillow,
he was
Luke Skywalker.
my guy. My guy was Luke Skywalker for sure. My mom had already claimed Darth Vader. She liked his leather pants, so I was kind of left with Han or Luke, and Han was entirely troublesome for me.
We've just found out that in the Star Wars world, Raven and myself are brother and sister-in-law, because she is going to marry Luke Skywalker, and I'm going to marry Princess Leia, and so we're now related.
We're fam.
Kylo can be the best man. That's all you get.
But just remember,
I always call dibs on the girls.
That's okay, because I'm taking Solo and Darth Maul, and I'm marrying Kira.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Just remember, though, you guys, that I have a Wookiee, like a real living, breathing Wookiee. So I'm ahead of the game already.
Whoa.
You guys, those of you who follow me on Twitter have seen my Wookiee. You guys know I have one.
I have a monkey. I have a Quacky and monkey lizard.
Yeah, that's such a cutie, though.
Not nearly in relation to a Wookiee, though. Holy cow.
Yeah, I can't hold my Wookiee. I haven't held my Wookiee since she was about 3 months old, because she weighs almost more than I do.
So, Miss Duchess Raven, I want to go and ask you. Your collection in relation to things maybe about Boba Fett. What would you think about sharing that with those Holochronicles boys?
Well, I would be happy to. It's not a large collection.
Yeah. No, the size of the collection that Andy and Josh are looking for isn't in relation to size. It's in relation to scope. Yeah.
Well, they did give me a shout out for my patches collection, which is much better than my toy collection, because I have a vest that's covered in Star Wars patches.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, them Holochronicles boys are looking for sharing collections, and I would love to see. I'm sure many of our friends, besides me, would just love to see anything in relation to your collection. So yeah, hit Andy and Josh up, and
I've got special
maybe
stuff
this weekend.
Yeah, I'll have to get the camera up on that shelf and take a look and see what I can see.
Yeah, get that with them, and then Kylo and I also have on this network. We have Collecting with Kylo.
Yep.
We we do it whenever I think we've only done 1 or 2 episodes, but it's whenever we get something or whatever we can. I haven't talked to him with him yet, but I'm probably going to do one with him this weekend. And even though I don't believe he collects books, it's just mostly books that I got at the I showed the bag earlier. It's books that I got at the New York Comic Con in October, which I still haven't gone through and opened up, but they're all signed by authors and everything. So that's kind of the reveal. I was gonna do not a reveal, but yeah,
play Star Wars Stratego with me.
Yeah, that's I mean, you think about it, if we could play a board game here if you wanted to. I know it sounds kind of weird, but if you wanted to play Trivial Pursuit, we could do Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, and we could get 6 people on here. And
my friends got mad at me because they didn't get a turn.
But I have
Star Wars Trivial Pursuit. Now I'm feeling like we would need to invite the Force Toast girls along for that.
I just picked up a Skywalker Saga Monopoly.
Oh, there you go.
So that's pretty cool. I think it was the black. I have the Black Series Monopoly too for the whole saga. So it's something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't have that. I don't
have right
that
there.
One. I think I have the 20th anniversary Star Wars Trivia Pursuit, the gold one.
I'll go grab mine.
Everybody's going to grab theirs now.
Michael's,
Yep, everybody's gonna go grab.
Michael's.
Now I'm mad that
Michael's
I don't have my camera.
making me feel. Michael's making me feel really bad because I passed it up for 20. Michael's making me feel really bad because I passed it up. That right there, Trivial Pursuit. You should. I passed it up when it was 50% off, and I passed.
What's wrong with you?
That's what I'm saying.
I got this.
Oh, wait, what's that Kylo got?
I got this
look
bag.
at that.
Yes, Kylo. Dang it!
Yeah, I mean, we can.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I have the 20th anniversary, I think, is the Trivia Pursuit I have, and then I have the Star Wars Stratego as well.
Yeah, Michael's got the newest and the latest one, and that's the one I passed on. Dang it!
I'm pretty sure this is the latest, but they're going to be coming out with another one that's going to cover the last two, because this only goes. I don't know if it says. Oh, it's probably does somewhere, but I'll try to take. This is actually a Black Series thing, so.
I got that one. I think it only goes up to Force Awakens.
Visit the Galaxy where we were favorable, blah, blah,
Let's see here.
It goes up to, episode 7.
Okay.
So they still got to come out with. So I'm sure they have one with all of the.
That's the
yes,
one.
ma'am. That's the original. Yep. That's the original.
Okay.
I have it. I love that one. Is that the one with the video of the DVD video, or is that just a regular Trivial Pursuit?
No, it doesn't have anything that fancy, but it does have the the R2D2 that beeps instead of dice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I have that one, and then I found one that has like the DVD to where it has like video and picture questions too.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Questions.
I've never played.
That's Kyla. That's the one you're talking about with concerning Darth Vader asking different questions on VHS. Did I get that right?
No, I have that one too.
Okay.
It's awesome. I like
this
that.
Is my Boba.
Oh, okay. All right.
What's
Michael? We're gonna have to get Darth Raven. We're gonna have to get Darth Raven to join the elite squadron. That is
yeah.
Because I would love to see her collection. Darth Raven, that's what I'm going to call her. You will now be known as Darth Raven.
I will take it. I will take it. But yeah, that was my 30th birthday present was Boba Fett. All right, this is the last thing.
That is
Okay.
This is the
Patches.
the
all right.
smuggler bounty patch.
Oh.
Nice.
It's hard for me to see what I'm showing you here.
That's fine. I do that all the time
Duchess
too.
has
So.
got them all.
So let me get them close up so you can
Wow.
see them here.
You have every. That's all the smuggler's bounty patches. That is awesome.
Yeah, so we've got Rebels with that guy, whose name I don't know. And then
Zeb?
we've got Jedi Knights. Over here, you've got Jabba's Palace, Mos Eisley Cantina.
Mm-hmm.
You keep going, you'll get the Resistance with BB-8.
Yep.
And First Order.
First Order box is fun.
This is my favorite patch of all of my patches, which is the Rebel Alliance with the X-Wing in the middle. My favorite
Nice.
one. Then you've got 3PO here on the droids patch.
Mm-hmm.
Yoda on the Empire Strikes Back. What is this? No, that's the regular one. Okay, there's Boba Fett on the Bounty Hunters.
I think that Yoda came from the Dagobah box.
Yeah. And then Rogue One.
Yep.
And let's see, the 40th anniversary patch with supposed to be Luke, I guess, and the Death Star. And then in the front, we've got Rogue Squadron and my New Republic Special Forces.
Oh, nice.
And to represent my Milwaukee hometown, I have my Milwaukee pin.
Ah, Milwaukee.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, you know, I'm cute that way. That's enough of me for tonight.
I see what.
So yeah, that's my collection there. Some of it anyway.
Well, here in the chat, I just dropped our Discord link.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to drop the because we have our group mainly is on Instagram, so I'll put the information in there too.
Okay.
So you can
We're gonna
join.
sit down.
Because we got a lot of Mike was talking about it earlier when I was just watching. We have I started a new collectors group to where we show off our collections of anything really. If you have a passion, you collect it, you want to show it off, you can go ahead and show it off. And we also, like you said, we have a wish list area to where if there's something you're looking for, so like maybe like for you, if you just put Boba Fett in there. I know Christina put like Kylo Ren stuff in there. So then this way, if we're out and about, like I was out all weekend running around picking up stuff for people and whatever. And that reminds me, Michael, I got to get to the post office and send your box. And then I was picking up some stuff, and then I like it. It's only been going for like a couple weeks now, but we've had a lot of interactions and a lot of help, and a lot of people have been helping people find stuff and send stuff. And it's a really great community. I've been in some, and it just comes down to where, you know, people want to start scalping and stuff like that, and we're gonna prevent that. I want it to be to where I'm a big collector of a couple different things, and I don't want somebody to kind of like, you know, like overcharge me or do me wrong or whatever. So we're kind of concentrating on trying to help each other as like a collecting family. And then, you know, we just adopted the name with the squadron at the end because we're like a solid group. We're there for one another. We help each other find what you know somebody else is looking for. We're very supportive. A couple of members are going through some hard times, so we're there trying to help them out through their hard times. You know, it's just a overall like a community family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
which is nice.
Yeah. done some pickups already. So,
and I think it's more selective. Like it's not like oh we need this to be you need this to be in there, you need that to be in it, but it's more inclusive than like on a Facebook group where anybody wants to go join the this collecting Facebook group, and the next day you have 300 people in there, and then this is more kind of like, okay, yeah, let's hang out and be friends and get to know each other. Not trying to say you have to be known to get in there, but to prevent just a bunch of people joining, like he said, and then trying to scalp stuff. It's people that are just want to collect and help each other out, and and that way.
And it's nice to have that too, because if you're looking for something in particular that you can't find, you just never know who might know and who might have. And some people, have multiple.
So.
Oh, we got more toys.
Let's do this guy. I don't even know when this is from.
Turn it. Let's see what box set. What's the top look like? Because usually there's like I can't. I can kind of see, but I can't. I don't remember which one that is. I want to say maybe it's the Alliance one, or the Resistance.
I think it's Cloud City.
Awesome.
Oh, okay, I can see it now. Okay.
Is it Cloud City? I'm not sure, but let's see.
It looks like.
Yep.
All right, who's gonna say it so I can open it?
Hey, that's not my thing. That's Anthony. He says that.
Rural Farmboy, what are you gonna say?
What's it? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
I'm leaving that to you guys.
What's in the box? My God, my poor wife. All right.
I gotta go put Boba back where he belongs.
Okay. And we have this guy, a little Chewbacca carrying C-3PO. Kind of cool. We have Lando. A little keychain.
I like that.
All right, sit myself in the face with the box. This is riveting. I can't get it out.
Hey, easy in the box.
There you go.
Oh, bust it up. Things is meant to be open. Bust it up.
And then we have Boba gets his bounty.
I see
That's what
a
it is right
Boba
there.
hat, but that's oh.
Oh,
That's speaking to Miss Duchess Raven.
That by far is one of the coolest movie moments they've done. I love it.
yep.
Oh, do I love that thing? I wish I had two, because I was telling the Condor there, the boss man here of the stream, that I wish I had two, because I want to put LED lights underneath it so that it illuminates the orange of the back, or I don't know what you call it. And there it doesn't hit. They're not on the stairs. He's walking the carbon freeze out. So I want to have like LED lights underneath the flooring that he's walking on. So then this way it lights up. But I have to find another one. So I'm looking for another one. I think that would be kick-ass to have LED lights under it.
You have at least one of those, Kylo, as I understand.
Yes, sir.
You got just okay.
Well,
I'm actually not in my Star Wars room tonight. I apologize. I was doing stuff up in my home office here. So next week I'll be down in what Mr. Rez calls the treasure room.
Misty Raven, you also have
I'm not in my Star Wars room either. What's that?
No, but do you have? You got one of also got one of what Michael's opened up? You have that also?
I'm sorry, I missed that. It was cut up.
Do you have one of
what
those?
Michael just opened up?
Oh no, I do not. I'm not that cool.
You didn't get that box?
Okay.
You're a huge Boba Fett girl.
I know. Well, hey, I told you, I get all my toys because people leave them for me. I rarely get anything myself. I just
Somebody's
show
gotta
up at
set
work
her
and
up.
stuff is on my desk.
Hook her up. Hook her up.
What's in there?
What's in
Tell us
the,
What's in the bag?
What's in the bag?
It's a book.
That
We like books.
is a
Yeah,
book.
you
It's
missed
a
my.
book. What?
Well,
Book?
it's kind of a mess now because I've gone into it a couple times. We're talking, but I don't know if you saw yesterday. I just did my bookshelf yesterday.
I
So that's
actually
my-
did see that on Twitter.
Mhm.
That's my bookshelf. So it's still. I have some
Mhm.
space holders in there because it's not full yet. But this is
There we go.
Sex, Politics, and Religion in Star Wars.
Oh,
It's all the same thing.
Who's he?
everywhere. Not Star Wars.
But yeah, I hit up used books. I hit up Amazon a lot for used books.
Who's he? Who's the
Oh.
author?
I have so many books that I've bought. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, because you can get it. A lot of them, it costs more to ship them than it does to actually purchase them.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like I'll go through the list. I'll be like, oh, I'll get this book and this book and this book, and it's like, okay, I got $30 worth of books. I got like 6 or 7 books or 8 books, whatever it is, and it's like $100 with the shipping. It's like, oh, I guess I'm only gonna get a couple this week. Douglas Brode and Leah Dynick. Yeah, I don't know, whatever that says there.
Whatever that is.
Dynica. And then I don't know.
Never heard of that one.
This is gonna kill all my stuff. So yeah, I opened up I did an advent calendar, and I opened up a box every day for advent.
Nice.
So it was 25 boxes.
I would have to put up shelves for that.
Oh.
What's
Well,
going on?
here's another book, and I now know that this belonged to somebody named Taylor, and I have their Outlook email address.
Send them a thing.
Oh, they did some studying because they took a lot of notes and stuff in here. But this is
Well, wait, let's see
Myth,
the cover. Yeah, the cover.
Myth, Media, and Culture in Star Wars.
Oh.
By the same people.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Oh,
By the same people that wrote the other one?
Yes.
Well, at least
Yes.
it'll be
And then
consistent.
we have another one we got. Yeah. So
Open it up. Open it up.
Then we got another one. This is gonna. Oh no, I got one more. Then I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna have no more things to open up. So between
That's it.
Really?
the advent calendar,
We're done with you now.
well, I open up 3 or 4 things. Pretty much 3 or 4 things every week.
Yes, I've
mhm.
seen a few times.
And
If I can get off a conference call, I will definitely see things.
I ain't never been along for a live stream where Michael hasn't had something to open up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at
the
that.
sequel trilogy.
I know that.
Oh, that's nice.
That's got nice.
There's my
Yeah.
guy going on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of. I'm just looking
This
through it really
isn't the
quick, and
Wookiee, for the record. Just want to get that out of the way. This isn't the Wookiee.
I was assuming so.
Okay.
It's the baby Wampa.
Yeah, exactly. This is the baby Wampa.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just the story of the
It's really beautiful, though.
trilogy.
You
Yeah,
get
it's
one
nice
on
to
Amazon
picture.
too?
Yeah. Like I probably have a list of 100 books on Amazon. They're all Star Wars books that I'm just waiting for a good price, because I've said it many times. You can find one, a good copy or whatever, a high quality copy that's very good for $2 or $3, and it's normally a $20 or $30 book, but they only have one copy of it, and then the crappy ones are $8 or $12 or whatever, just because who's ever selling it. But thrift books, I must have clicked on something for thrift. It's a thrift books website. I have a bunch of books on there too that I found. I need to compare prices with. I think they had like 300 Star Wars books. And then I was like, oh no, they were listing ones that were out of stock also. And I was like, I don't want you to list the ones that are out of stock. Like, that kind of defeats the purpose of what I'm looking for. So I got rid of that, and it brought down to like 190. So I went through while I was watching TV with my girlfriend, and I think I found like 20 books that were decently priced. Like, when I say decently priced, I mean like $3.
Right. Right. Yeah, I bought my Jedi code book on Amazon too, and got it used, and I think I paid like $8 for it, so I was really happy.
Okay, this is the last one.
Get it?
Well, I still have my bag of ones to open up from Comic-Con, but a lot of those are doubles, because I was at Comic-Con and didn't have the books with me, and they were just coming out, and I was like, I'll just buy this and have it signed. And I have the other one sitting at the house. But, oh, all right. Well,
What's this?
Beam Orlando.
Oh,
I can't possibly be more Lando. I was born this way.
Be more Leia.
I can't be more her either.
go back to that Beam Orlando, because all I'm thinking is scruffy. All I'm thinking, Michael, is scruffy looking nerf herders. That's
it's a book
scruffy
full of
looking podcasters. Oh, jeez. And I got yet to give a listen to them scruffy looking boys, because Ed Bosshart's just tearing it up with that book on their podcast.
And you see the diva, right? You see the diva. As soon as I moved, she took my spot, so she'd be on camera.
Yep.
Yes, she did.
Oh, but come here.
That's what little girls do. I had 3 of them.
And then I have Be More Yoda.
Oh, is there one for every character?
Be More Vader.
Apparently.
I want to say there's 4.
There's 4.
I want to say there's 4.
And I actually met Christian. Christian. I can't. What's his name?
Blavelt. It's Blavelt. Say it like I said. Yes.
Blavelt. Yes, it's like a C and
Yep.
say right now. Speaking say right now. I met him at. I'm going to show you what I got from him too. This is going to be a little sneak peek from my shit bag. Not my shit bag, but I didn't mean it like that. That sounds bad. I know I got it in here somewhere. I had purchased this book already, and
okay.
When I went to Comic-Con, he was there, so this is his other book.
Oh, that one. All right. Yeah. Yes.
And
familiar with that book. Yeah.
I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that picture of the Ewok he drew himself. the baby Wampa wants to have some wine.
Sounds about right.
I guess so.
So that's he drew. I believe he drew that himself, and the reason I think he drew that himself is because I got this from him. Where is it? He drew that for me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he signed it.
Oh, look at that.
It's
Yeah,
pretty much the same thing. And he,
Nice.
yeah. So I guess
Great.
that doesn't need to go on the reveal shelf anymore. So yeah, and he actually told me because he lives in New York City. He told me where he lives, and he's like, anytime you're around, stop by, let me know, hit me up on Twitter. And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna try and do an interview or talk with him because I still have those other 2 interviews. But when I did those interviews, I know the people that saw the interview when I did it live. I thought it was bad, and they all said it was good, but I just I don't think it was that good when I did it with Dominic Pace. And then when I did that other one that still has to be edited, which I haven't done yet. Yeah, so I still have those 2 to edit. I just haven't done them yet because I think they suck, and I don't want to put them out there. But it's not fair to the people that did that. I told Dominic Pace that too. I was like, it's not fair to you that I don't post this because you took your time to do the interview, and I think it sucks. And he told me, he gave me constructive criticism on interviewing, which was really nice because it was not even correct. It was like a friend talking to another friend, like, hey, next time you should try this or try that. It's not like, he was like a teacher saying, like, do this, do this, do this. It was like, so that was really, really cool. But so, yeah.
Well, he's pretty cool. So.
Yeah. Well, it took me a while to get the this guy right here. But the Dominic Pace interview I did live on the chat. So that was on there. And then I re-put it up and edited him out of the chat, and I have that separate. But George Mann. I interviewed George Mann, and
Nice.
I have to edit that. I'm going to edit that. Maybe I'll edit that video. My goal is to edit that video this month. Both those videos I'm going to edit this month and get those on there for my Patreon feed, for my few patrons that I have, and then get their honest feedback from it, what they think, and maybe I have to re-edit it before I put it out to the general public. Yeah, so that's my goal, because I know because of scheduling, I have a couple extra days off this month towards the end of the month. So I have a couple Saturday and Sundays off, which mean I have a day to myself because my girlfriend will be working, and that will be wonderful, even though I love her. It's a good time to be with my nerd
Get
friends.
them cleaned up.
Maybe we can
Get them cleaned up and put up. Get them cleaned up and put up, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yep.
In my playlist. Yep.
And maybe we can do some trivia. Maybe we'll put it out there. We'll get a Trivial Pursuit game going on. Figure out the day and the time and do a live stream Trivial Pursuit, and I can figure out. I'll do it at my dining room table, and I can use my game, and we can do it at the dining room table and figure out how to use my tripod and all my stuff I don't use and that. So, all right. Anything else we got today?
Perez is in for that. I'm in for it.
I'm down.
See? Whole group's ready to
I'm
go.
here. I'm here.
I'm down.
Let's do it.
And it can be more of a regular, a regular thing, and it doesn't have to be, well, we'll figure it out.
Jeez. Andy Lanier from Hollow Chronicles in the live chat. Andy from Hollow Chronicles is in the live chat.
What's up, Andy?
Hi, Andy. Andy, don't be mad at me. I love you.
Them West Coasters.
Andy, I am gonna have that done after this for you, if you know what I'm talking about, which you should. So, me and Andy have a little private thing going on in public.
I think I know what that might be. I'll keep it to myself.
Keep it to yourself.
Speaking
of that, everyone that Andy has this little thing he calls the Hollow Chronicles. We were actually talking about it earlier, how Raven should get her stuff on there, and maybe I can get some of my stuff on there, figure it out. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Red.
I think
Maniacal laugh, maniacal laugh.
Mr. Rez.
Yeah, I bet it's all about collecting Funko Pops. We'll see.
if Mr. Rez wasn't a moderator and a patron, I'd ban him from life from everything.
Right under the bus, Mr. Rez. Right under the bus.
Yeah,
Feel
he
free
got
to
kicked
check
out
the
of
brakes
Rebel
while
Scum
you're
earlier. Mr. S got kicked out of Rebel Scum earlier by James, and now he's getting kicked out of the back tonight. Oh, that's the best.
Unreal.
No, I meant not collecting Funko Pops. My bad.
I do not. I still, yeah, I do not collect Funko Pops.
Boy.
Like, see, this is not collecting Funko Pops. This is Star Wars memorabilia, which just happens to be Funko Pop. But I do not collect Funko Pops.
Yeah, you do, because you have an Elliot
No.
the Dragon.
Oh,
Elliot
he's
the
getting called
Dragon
out.
is not Star Wars.
That's because growing up as a young boy, Pete's Dragon
Elliot
was
was
my favorite.
awesome.
Yeah. Pete's Dragon was my favorite cartoon. And as a little boy, I used to cry when he went away. And my mom used to have to sing Puff the Magic Dragon to me. And then when I got older, I had to tell her how it's all about smoking weed, Mom. And now when she sings it to her grandchildren, she can't think of it the same way that she used to think about it with me, because I make her think about smoking weed. And she's like completely like straight edge, straight laced, the Catholic grandma going to church and dragging the kids with her. And of course, me, I had to corrupt that whole thing for her. And now she, like when I was in Buffalo and she was singing it to my nephew, she's like, Michael, I can't think of it the same way anymore because of you. And I'm like, I know, Mom. I know.
Hey, everybody's got to do their good deed, man.
Yeah, and mine's corrupting my straight edge mother.
My mother was in love with Darth Vader's leather pants, so clearly we know who corrupted who there.
Darth Vader used the dark side on your
She
mother.
didn't care.
It's not her fault. It's not her fault.
She still uses the dark side.
Dark side.
Yeah, Andy Raven showed us her patch collection earlier. So
Yeah, he's seen it. Got her attention. So
I don't have them on tonight. I'm just have them hanging up, but I did have them earlier. I don't have them on right now.
well,
it's a little hair covered. Labs with it.
Christina, anytime we play Trivial Pursuit, or if we're going to start playing games or doing whatever, we can always do teams. If there's 4 of us, we can do 2 people on a team. If there's 6 of us, or whatever it is, or if there's 5 of us, Royal Farm Boy's by himself, and we all get to team up against him.
That seems fair.
Only fair.
It might actually work out.
Because
I like those odds.
This is the way.
Never tell me the odds.
Tell me the odds.
So, all right. I think that's going to do it for tonight. Unless anybody else does anything.
Yes, sir. This is a late night.
I think on Saturday, I don't know time after work. I either have to work at like 3 or 5. Saturday, late morning, early afternoon, maybe I can get together with either Kylo and do a quick collecting with Kylo with those books, or I can do an hour or 2 with Royal Farm Boy. Then we can go to the house, the Holocron house, and get something in on Saturday. And then
we got to pick up that visual dictionary.
They changed my schedule. I was working first shift or mid shift. Now I'm working second shift, so it destroys. I'm leaving the house at 2 and getting home at midnight, so it doesn't really.
I got you.
Well, some of them are a little shorter. Some of them are a little shorter. Sometimes I don't get until 4, but still it's. We're missing each other. You're coming home from work. I'm going to work. It was better when we were kind of on the same schedule. So, I'm not getting any chance. I'm not getting any chances to live stream except for Monday. I was off all night, so I was getting a chance to live stream, and we'll see.
You guys are doing the Rise of Skywalker one, the one with the Knight of Ren on the cover, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I just looked it up on Amazon. I'm gonna try to see if I can get it by the weekend.
But you don't need to get it.
But why not?
I mean, you can if you want to.
Michael
Well,
provides you with
need
a
it.
copy.
Well, yeah, I
puts a
see,
copy up on
but
screen.
I have that huge treasure room that needs a visual dictionary in it.
Okay. Yeah, because I can just
get what he's saying.
I mean, because if you don't have a copy, I can just do this.
Yes, you put it on the screen. Yeah.
And there you go. This is the next thing we are on. I don't know if it came up or not because I can't see on the screen. Oh,
I can see.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
right there. That's where we left off.
That's the next page we're on.
I mean, I see it on Amazon now for $15, free shipping. So, I mean, I don't think that's a bad deal. When I think I've seen it's like $30 at like Barnes Noble.
Yeah, and then check and see if you can find it used too, and what the difference is. But $15 is pretty good since it's a new book.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you find a copy, I mean, that's the whole thing. Like Amazon has their like whatever it is, like acceptable or whatever. But I think this one that I got, the one that has the writing on it, is good. It doesn't really matter that somebody wrote in it and took notes. That maybe it's beneficial to me. Maybe they're smarter in Star Wars than I am, and now, I have all the answers to anything I may not even know were questions. But we're still waiting for. We've had Mr. Rez on here. Mr. Rez's shine doesn't like to come on though, and
Okay, if I got on here, none of you have an excuse.
Bullshit. He's been on the stream before. He ain't shy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
he's been on a couple times. He came in last week because there were 6 people in the Bacta tank. He was the only one in the chat room. So
yeah, that's the one that kicked me out of the live stream because my StreamYard was not friendly to me, so I was glad and humbled that he could take my place. Hey, Jay from the Great Council's in the chat.
Whoop, whoop.
We got Jay from the Great Council in the chat room.
Oh, nice.
Right when we're gonna finish wrapping it up here.
And I believe while you're here, you might as well. We were talking about books earlier. Throw up the link for your book in case anybody wants to take a look at that at Amazon. I'm still waiting for the Audible version, and I think he's got a great voice that he could record the Audible version himself and do it like John Justice did. He wrote those 3 books. 2 of them have come out, and the 3rd one right now is at the editor. It should be out in the next month or 2. I'm waiting for that to come out for his saga that he has. And he recorded himself, and
Oh, he's just saying he can't post a link because he's not a mod. Does he need to be a moderator to post links? I'm a moderator, but that's beyond me.
Yeah, it didn't let me post the link when you could just put the text in for the Instagram link. Or not the Instagram link, the Discord link.
Okay, yeah, he says yes, you have to be a moderator to post things. All right. Yeah, that's a little bit beyond me, even though I'm a moderator. But I ain't in relation to those things. So beyond me a little bit.
Way beyond me.
I haven't even figured out how to highlight the at whoever I'm talking or trying to send a message to in the chat yet. How you can make it like the red or the orangish color. I don't know how to do that. You know how you get somebody.
I moderate for many of our friends, but this is still beyond me. Wow. Well, I'll be the first of 4 of us, friends. Workday for RFB comes early. And
same here.
Time for me to lay my butt down, wake up, because workday comes early. But look for me in that Twitterverse and hit me up. Let's talk some Star Wars. Till next Monday, when we find ourselves here in the tank with many more friends. Tag some friends. Get them in the live chat. Let's bust this wide open. Who's next?
All right. Real Fine Boy, thanks for joining us and talking some Star Wars for a lot of while with us. I just posted a link on Amazon for his book.
Okay. Yep, seeing it right there. Yep.
Oh, yep, there it is.
So it's on there if anybody. I think we were talking about books earlier, and like I said, The Wanderer. But that's Earl Farmer. That would be good for you because that's on Audible. I know you don't like to read with your eyes; you like to read with your ears, like me. So.
Yep, you, me, and Mr. Rez, we're Audible listeners, buddy. That's what we do. So, Mr. Raven, evening, girl. Mr. Kyler Custom, my Star Wars brother. May the Force be with you. Michael, you know where to find me, buddy.
Anthony, have a great night.
Let's see.
Yep, I'll talk to you.
Yes, sir.
I'll talk to you this week about this weekend.
Have a good one, Rural.
Wide open. Hit me with the DM. Any of yous. You need me for anything, you want to ask me something, hit me with the DM. Or send me workfarmboy@gmail. I'm open.
Get after it, kids.
Find me there. That's a boy. Get after it, kids. Evening, Star Wars friends.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
All right.
Thank you, friends.
So. All right. So. I guess that's it for tonight. It was going to be a nice quick one like normal, and it's 3 hours now. So
that is quick for us.
That's what happens. We started talking about toys and got into an hour-long conversation about what your familial ties for Jedis. So that whatever. All right. I don't know if anybody's got anything else. I think that's it. Raven, thank you for stopping by and your first time getting tanked with us in the Bacta tank.
Thanks for having me. It was a good time.
You have an open invitation, and that's what it's all about. It's people write into podcasts and talk to podcasters that way or whatever. This way, you can just get on, and you had a question about Jedis, and we got on. We talked about Jedis and the Force for an hour, and instead of just writing into a podcast and getting their quick 1 or 2 minute answer. That's what the whole thing's about. Just coming on and chatting about whatever you feel like talking about.
No, it was a great time, and I appreciate it, and definitely join you guys again as I do.
Awesome, yeah, it was great to meet you and get to see your vest with your patches and your Bobo. check us out with the link that I fired on there for the Discord, and look us up on Instagram if you have it, and
Yep,
then join us on there. What was that?
I said I do have Instagram, so I will look.
Yeah, check us out. Elite_collectors_squadron. Come check us out and join up with us, and we do a lot of hunting around for everybody. And this last 2 days I've been really busy, so I haven't posted any pictures anybody has sent because it was a weekend. So I got to get back to that and start getting more content, more collection pictures out there.
I have nothing to share with anybody, but I'm at the same name everywhere you look for me.
All right. Well, I guess that does it for today. Thank you everybody for stopping by. I guess whoever we have left in here, Andy, I will do that thing that you want me to do for you right now. Well, not right now, but our little thing we got going on, but we won't tell anybody what that is. Mr. Oz, thanks for stopping by. Darth Lungo, thank you for stopping by. Nick Adams, thank you for stopping by. I don't know who else is in here right now. Christina's
still here.
Christina's still here. Thank you for stopping by. We're still waiting to get Christina in the tank. She doesn't want to come in, though, because she's a little shy. But it doesn't matter if you have broken English or whatever it is. You're invited and welcome anyways, because we're not going to discriminate you. Half the time, I barely speak English. Sometimes people come in here and they've had a few too many cocktails and they barely speak English, or they just yell at me and I don't know what they're saying. But that's with too much spotchka sometimes. It's been a while since he's had one of those nights, but those are the funny ones.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was last week. I think it was last week he had one of those, or 2 weeks ago. But yeah. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for stopping by, and remember, every Monday night at 8:35 Eastern Standard Time, come get in the chat room. Come get in the tank. Help me hit that goal 1,000. I need 250 more, and I'm giving a bunch of shit away to bribe you to be my friend. So
yeah, come jump in the tank. It's friendly. It's warm. We all get along. It's a good time.
Yep. The only thing you need to be to get in the tank is just be respectful. You can talk about how much you dislike or don't like or whatever, and just be respectful, and that's all that matters. So with that, I say good day. May the force be with you.
See you guys.